Against the odds, the Cardiff Devils took Sheffield apart in their semi-final. So, 3 times in a row, Cardiff make it to the Benson and Hedges Cup final. Nottingham in the first leg of their semi against Edinburgh just couldn't miss the net. And the tie in effect all over before the second leg began. Nottingham start favourites tonight, but Cardiff simply don't care. Hello and a very good evening to you. Welcome to Sheffield and the splendid setting of the arena for what promises to be a great night of ice hockey action. It's been billed Judgment Day. It's the match we've all been waiting for. It is, of course, the final of the Benson and Hedges Cup. It's the Cardiff Devils against the Nottingham Panthers, and we have a terrific atmosphere in the stadium tonight. We have more than 8,000 fans waiting for the action to get underway. Alongside me, I have Rocky Saganook, the coach to the Blackburn Hawks. And Rocky, you know what it takes to win this particular event. We're in for a great night.
We're in for a fantastic night. We got 9,000 people here tonight playing for Benson Hedges Cup. You know, it's been a lot of work, a lot of marketing, a lot of advertising going into this, and we're really proud to have this cup with us.
I mentioned that Nottingham are the hot favourites, and I know that over, say, 2 or 3 matches, you fancy them strongly, but I know you feel that Cardiff will make it very hard for them.
Well, Johnny Lawless told me a little secret. He says he's playing tonight like he was 23 years old again. He's going to make sure his guys are going to be set for this game. They're going to play like they did against Sheffield the first game. 1 guy in, 4 guys back, wait for their chances, and then make Nottingham make the mistake, maybe get a couple of goals on them.
It's a very tense occasion. I mean, obviously, as we said, a big crowd, terrific atmosphere. How tense are these players going to be? Will it get to them?
Every guy in there right now has got butterflies coming out of every piece of their body that it could come out of right now. They are just waiting to get this thing going.
And if I had to put you on the spot and say, who do you fancy to win this?
Well, honestly, I really don't know. I think we got 2 of the best clubs in the country right now playing for it. Goaltending, as we said, always comes down a major factor. I think 6-4, 8-6, but I don't know who.
And briefly, what sort of match are we going to see? Is it going to be a wide-open attacking match?
Attacking match by Nottingham, a counter match game by Cardiff. They're going to wait and then make something happen on the counter back up the ice. Nottingham, on the other hand, are going to try and attack the goal, and we'll soon see.
I tell you what, we're looking forward to it, aren't we?
Absolutely.
I tell you, somebody else is looking forward to it. Our commentary team of Gary Moran and Paul Ferguson.
Well, before we start this one, let's take a look at the teams. The Cardiff Devils, they've been here before. They know what it's like. They've got great goaltending in Jason Wood. He's played in Europe. He's played here. He's experienced. Excellent defensive pair with McEwen and Stone. Ruggles, Hope, Cooper. All these guys can put the puck in the net as well as play good defensive hockey. Jamie Vanderhorst, new kid over from Holland, Canada. He's got a dual nationality, 200 pounds. He's going to be a vital key to this Cardiff defense. They're missing Stephen Cooper. They dearly miss him. What will they do without him? They've got the scoring punch. Will they be able to hang on defensively? Nottingham Panthers, such a wealth of talent. The hottest team in the country right now. Good goaltending for Butler. But the key for them is Premack, Taylor, and Waghorn. 3 solid defensemen. If these guys can keep the big key Devils away from the front of the net, then the guys like Grabant can score pucks at the other end of the rink. The referee for today's game is Graham Horner. Andy Carson and Paul Standyforth are the linesmen. And we're waiting to get this one underway. Horner blows his whistle, says, come on, let's go. The Nottingham Panthers, with Butler between the pipes, will play from right to left. And the Devils, as I said, Gary Moran, have been here before, so they may be under pressure with the loss of Stephen Cooper. But they've got experience.
They've got a lot of experience, Colin. They've got a lot of experience of the big games. It could come down to who wants it the most. And having been with the Nottingham camp throughout the week, I've got to tell you, they really want it. But I know Cardiff arrived in this building wanting success as well.
Well, I was surprised to see how relaxed these players were. Both teams looking totally in control. Premack gets the first touch. Waghorn is there, gives it to Hunt. Brabant, perhaps the best import ever to play in this country, is out there for this first shift. Shannon Hope takes it deep, being followed by Hunt. Bangs that off the boards. McEwen got it up. McEwen's going to be playing forward and defense. I'm sure he's going to get a spell back on the D. Loose puck at the side of the net. Brabant tried to get a handle on that. McEwen just takes a chop and sends it back in. We got 3 20-minute hockey periods out there. Premack ran into McEwen. Waghorn puts it over to the far side. Ruggles chops his man down and flips it into the corner. The Devils get a quick change out there. Dumas steps on the ice. Brabant stays out there. Ian Cooper slides it back in. Premack gets a little touch, and Hunt picks it up in the near side. Early pressure from Cardiff, but no shots on goal. Here comes Hunt. Hunt being chased by Dumas. The stick gets in high. Hunt continues to go. This guy's a tenacious little hockey player, and the first shot on goal was handled nicely by Jason Wood.
Early confidence booster for Jason Wood, but a nice run from the Nottingham youngster, 21-year-old Simon Hunt, who hustles and bustles past the Cardiff defence and then takes the shot from this tight angle. He's not trying to shoot from anywhere, as we saw in the semi-final pool when he bagged 8 goals against Edinburgh.
Left-handed shot on the right side. Hunt fending off sticks around his face. Taylor, the big defenseman who made the switch from Division 1 in Telford over to Nottingham here in the Premier League, got it in, and John Lawless, who earlier on in the week was suffering from a groin injury, flips it high, and Trickett bats it down. Trickett, the youngest of the defensemen, is just dumped right at the red line. He picks himself up, regains his composure, and the Devils just fire it out into neutral ice territory. Both teams have a wealth of talent out there. Both teams have a lot of players who can score goals, and that's where a lot of teams come unstuck. They only have 3 or 4 guys who can put the puck in the net, but not these teams. The long pass over to Ashley Tate. Tate takes a big hit. Carson flattened him, and that'll give Carson and the Devils a boost. Lambert is hit along the boards, and when you knock this guy down, that's a big assignment. Lambert is so tough to knock down. A chance as Dumas goes in. Dumas is double teamed. Taylor got the stick over. The Cardiff fans don't like it, but Dumas is at the side of the net, trying to wrap it around, and he just couldn't jam it in the far side. A quick start here for Cardiff as they just picked up their game in the blink of an eye. Hunt slams on the brakes. The Devils go for a change, but here comes Simon Hunt. The whistle blows as the net comes off its moorings. Boy, you can't even hear the whistle. The noise in this building is deafening.
All that pressure from the Cardiff Devils stemmed from a great piece of defensive play by the newcomer, the Dutch-Canadian, Jamie van der Horst. Big hit on Ross Lambert. It fired up the fans, but it fired up his teammates on the ice, and they steamed down the other end. And the Nottingham Panthers defence had to come up big there. And you wouldn't have been surprised to see Nottingham kick the goal off its moorings to try and get a whistle. In the end, it was a Cardiff Devils bit of hustle around the net that led to that whistle.
Ruggles already set in the face-off as Brabant moves in now. Brabant loses that in the skate, but it comes back to Premack. Premack, the Canadian who spent some time with the Canadian national team in the Spengler Cup last year, got it up, and Brabant comes in. Brabant on the backhand side, pushed out of harm's way, gets it back to the blue line. Waghorn can't get the shot away, and Waghorn is hit by the youngster Francis. The youngster is out there from time to time for the Cardiff Devils, and this has been the key to the Cardiff success. Nicky Chin, Jason Stone, these guys all came up through the ranks, through the farm system, and now they're playing on the big team. The youngsters out there like number 12 rather, Richard Townsend, Neil Francis, and Simon Keating. These guys are all coming up slowly. Lawless every once in a while drops them in. They get a wealth of experience, and pretty soon they're number 1 on the team.
That's the Cardiff Devils posse, as they call the youngsters. And he's looking at one that was one of the youngsters there, John Lawless. That was Nicky Chin, a guy that's come through, perhaps come of age. But Nottingham have players that have come of age through their junior system as well. The likes of Hunt, the likes of Ashley Tate.
Shannon Hope bangs it off the boards. Ruggles tries to break free, and he's dropped down as 80 goes back. Trickett picks up a stick, and the first penalty of the game has been called by referee Horner. Trickett makes his way over to the far side to the penalty box. power play at 16:42.
Holding the stick is the call against Matt Trickett, and it came just over 3 minutes and 18 seconds into the game, and Matt Trickett, the youngest of the 4 defensemen, a forward, now converted to defence, been doing well, lost his own stick there and grabbed hold of the blade of Ruggles' stick and held onto it just too long.
Comes back to Hope. Hope tees it up, takes a shot, and Butler got the stick on that to put it high over the plexi. We'll have another face-off.
Big shot from Shannon Hope, big save from Stevie Butler, the guy from Solihull who makes golf bags for a living for his father. Nice shot coming through traffic, but he saw enough of it, Stephen Butler, and steers it to safety. Big game this one for the netminders, isn't it? Jason Wood has played in a lot of big games.
Shot, another one right on the target by Hope. That's handled easily by Butler. McEwen slows it down, gets it all the way back. Stone takes the shot, looking to get it into Cooper, and he does. From behind the net, McEwen right out front. Stone traps it at the blue line, gives it to Hope. But the Panthers are closing them down, and Premack flattens Ruggles right in front of the net. That's what the defenseman has to do, and he did it properly. Hope circles quickly, brings it back up. 4 minutes gone in the hockey game. Power play for Cardiff as Hope is taken out of the play in the far side. Lambert sees an opening and just lobs it down the ice. 1:15 on the power play to Cardiff as both teams try to get fresh legs out there. McEwen starts it up. McEwen looking for the return pass from Hope, but that didn't happen. Ruggles on the wing took his eye off of that, and Taylor goes back and bounces it off the boards out of the zone. McEwen, good move by McEwen. Will he get the second one? Waghorn is there to clear up all the way back and through the defense. Hope way back at his own blue line. 47 seconds on the power play. Ruggles taps it over to the far side. The shot, Butler made the save, no problem there for the young goaltender, and that's cleared out of the blue line. Hope drops it deep. Cooper got it over. Puck on the left side. Ruggles breaks in behind, picks it up right at the red line. Ruggles tries to get it out front, and he does. McEwen thought that Stone was moving in, but Stone was moving out. 16 seconds on the power play. No real threat to the goal yet. A chance as that puck comes right through the crease. 9 seconds. McEwen from a sharp angle. McEwen back to the boards. Drops it back to Hope. Hope lets a shot go. Great save by Butler as he reached up the glove hand.
And the penalty is killed, and the Nottingham Panthers get back to full strength, and Matt Trickett comes out of the penalty box, and that was a good penalty kill from the Nottingham Panthers. Particularly good work from the forwards, who always seem to be back behind the puck and pushing the Devils a long way out, and it was long shots. And it was a good save, as you say. It was a spectacular save, but it was an easier save because it was from so far out.
Yeah, the goaltenders like to do that because they can perform. They know they've got it from the moment it leaves the stick, but who cares? It's their moment to shine. Taylor, the big defenseman, moves into the far side, gets it out of the zone, and Van der Horst gets a touch. Van der Horst moves up, his pass is deflected away from Nicky Chin, and that goes all the way down the ice. Taylor is there to collect. Dumas shadows out front. Lambert's one of the best playmakers in the league. Lambert gives it up. A chance now for Blaisdell. Blaisdell takes the shot, and that's deflected away of Van der Horst, and it comes all the way back to Premack. Premack's shot is deflected, and that goes back behind the net, and Trickett has to chase it to the far side of the rink. Trickett sidesteps one man. Van der Horst picks it up deep. Nice little pass up to Chin. The simple things from Van der Horst. Nicky Chin all on his own, waiting for a change, and a little help out there. Blaisdell, the man on the ice with the most experience of anyone. Van der Horst goes in heavy on the far side. Blaisdell, 10 years in the National Hockey League. Correction, that was Shannon Hope who put out the lumber and the body on the far side of the rink. Blaisdell, 10 years in the National Hockey League. Perhaps this will be his last game. We know that Belanger is back in the country, and he'll be taking over. And I think that'll be a crying shame, actually, because I love to see Blaisdell play hockey. So much experience, such a good hockey player at 34. Premack picks it up, pass up the middle to Brabant. Brabant looks to get it over to Hunt. Not a great pass from him. Hope rattles that around the boards. Stone is on the far side. Stone against Premack. Stone slammed on the brakes, and I would too. Premack missed the puck, so they came out even on that one. Francis winds it up. Francis hits the red line, takes the shot wide of the target. These boards are lively, so that's not a bad idea. Get the rebound out front. Loose puck in front. Hunt gave it away. Hunt drags his man down. McEwen dropped down. The Cardiff fans are calling for a penalty. Boy, that doesn't happen. Horner letting things fly out there. Trickett to Waghorn. He lets it go. Cooper says, thank you very much. Right on the target. Trickett flips it high off the plexi and down out of the zone. Hope is there. Hope's pass bounces, and it bounces nicely to Doug McEwen. Offside is the call, and we really haven't had that many whistles. 12 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first period. No score in this one.
John Lawless, the Cardiff Devils player coach, will be pleased with the way it's going so far, and he'll be particularly pleased with the guy making his debut in perhaps the biggest game of the season so far. The cup final, and Jamie van der Horst has been hitting, he's been bumping, and he's been laying beautiful passes off to get the forwards free.
Tough shoes to fill when you got to step in for Stephen Cooper. Icing will be the call on this one as that goes the distance. But Jamie van der Horst in your picture right now has done well. The youngster from Winnipeg whose father holds a Dutch passport, picked up his Dutch passport a few years ago and spent 3 years with the Galeen Smoke Eaters. Actually won the best player in the league last year. And is just happy to be playing hockey in Great Britain. He said he's heard so much about it and he's glad to be here.
The clearance only came through a couple of hours ago for him to play. All the registration forms and everything that had to be done by deadline had been done, and the ITC clearance, the international clearance, came through by fax to this arena a few hours ago.
I got to tell you, his name and number were on his tracksuit a long time ago. I saw him in the hotel before the game, and I said, how did you get that? They didn't even know you were going to be here until a few hours ago. And he just smiled sheepishly. Coming up now is Tate. Spun around, Hope getting the body in there, and that's pushed out of the zone to Taylor, and flipped in as Stone goes deep. 11:26 remaining on the first period. No score. The Devils bringing it out slowly. McEwen, long pass up to Ruggles. Ruggles will get to this one first. Waghorn has got him in his sights. Ruggles sidestepped him, and a chance for the big forward Cooper to bring down Premack and steal the puck. Just didn't happen. Brabant, nice pass up on the wing. Lawless riding a little shotgun over there on 80 as he keeps his eye on him. And the Devils just happy to get it out of the zone. The instructions, I guess, so far are just clear it out, and then we'll make the plays when they happen in neutralized territory, like now with Nicky Chin. Chin going down, trying to break in front. Can he get the shot away? Whoa, he did. There was no steam on it. Chin went heavily into the boards, and he's getting up slowly. Chin gets back into the play, and the offside whistle. Well, it doesn't go. Chin was trapped. They brought it over the line. I really don't know why the whistle didn't blow, but it didn't. Play continues with Premack going in. We're going to have a penalty. Now the whistle goes. Brabant brings Lawless down heavily into the boards. And if Lawless wasn't suffering from a groin injury before this game, he is now.
It was a good hit from the viewpoint that he caught him, but the stick was in the guts area as well, and he's got bad legs, John Lawless told me. He's Nicky Chin here, moments earlier, going round the back, and Graham Waghorn tries to steer him, does just about keep his attentions on the man, and Premack steers Chin, gives him a little shove, and Chin ends up banging into the boards. But it's a 2-minute penalty for the following play, the subsequent play for the former Cardiff Devils, Rick Brabant, now captain of the Nottingham Panthers. Brabant played here a year ago in the B&H final and was a losing finalist. John Lawless was the losing coach last year.
Face-off just inside the Panther zone. They'll be short-handed for 2 minutes. A chance here as the Panthers come up short-handed. Blaisdell goes in and he scores! Oh, the veteran player coach, Mike Blaisdell, did it all on his own with 7 seconds gone on the power play to Cardiff. Short-handed goal. Boy, there's a leader for you.
Mike Blaisdell was telling me in the week he's got to retire after this game because his body can't cash the checks his mind is writing. Well, he cashes this one big time. It's a short-handed goal for the Nottingham Panthers. He takes it to the side of Jason Wood. The keeper drops down, and Mike Blaisdell fires home the opening goal in this year's cup final.
Another look at this. Watch the concentration. Here's the little fake. The goaltender makes a move and just can't get the glove out for that far corner. 1-0 the score as we approach the midway point in this first period. 1:43 on the power play to Cardiff as they bring it up with Doug McEwen hitting the blue line. McEwen gets it by Blaisdell. Great move by Doug McEwen. McEwen looking for places to go. Lambert shots him down as that goes to Cooper. Back to Stone. Flipped over to the far side. Shannon Hope. Cooper. Cooper has got McEwen. He's got lots of time. Back to Cooper. McEwen is calling for it back at the blue line. Hope picks it up beyond the red line. Hope at the side of the net. Stone is there. He lets a shot go, and that's deflected away nicely by Lamberts. A good defensive play. Back to McEwen. McEwen to Stone. No shots on goal. Lots of passing around out there. 1 minute remaining on the power play. A chance with a wraparound from Hope, and Butler got there quickly. Blaisdell fires an opening and then goes for a change. Some good stuff from both teams, defensively and offensively. 45 seconds on the power play. 9 minutes, 4 seconds on the period. 1-0 for Panthers. Long shot coming in from Vander Horst. Tipped away from Butler. Rattled off the boards. Dumas loses it for a second and then puts it into McEwen. What a pace this game is being played at. Vander Horst to Cooper. Cooper with a lot of time slows it down. Tries to feed it through Trickett's skate. That didn't work. Eventually, at the second attempt, gets it over. Less than 20 seconds on the power play. No real quality shots in this 2-minute spell with Brabant sitting in the box. Premack gathers that, but gives it right away from behind the net. A chance now for the Devils. Vander Horst. Stone, weak shot, side of the net. Goaltender pounces on it. Brabant steps on the ice. Another penalty killed off.
2 penalties so far in the game, both against the Nottingham Panthers, both of them killed off with some excellent defensive play on the penalty kill, short-handed. The Nottingham Panthers can utilise just about anybody on the bench. They have so many players that can go out there on special team duty, and that's been the success for their 12th game unbeaten run in the league, for example, and their success in reaching this final. So many players get involved on special team duty.
8 minutes, 15 seconds remaining on the first period. 1-0, the Panthers leading this as Vander Horst goes deep. Being chased and chopped by Blaisdell. That almost worked. Jason Wood got hammered behind the red line as he found himself out in no man's land. Vander Horst ties his man up as Wallace picks up the puck. Wallace looking for a quick break. Good pass up to Dumas. Dumas has got Chin. Chin from a sharp angle loses that as Waghorn got in nicely. And Waghorn follows through nicely to bring his man down. Waghorn still finds himself on top of Chin, and the two of them push and shove with referee Horner looking on closely, but no penalties are called. Long shot in by Lee Carson as the Devils go for a change. Premack scoops it up and puts it up on the wing. Tate trying to get a shot. The shot goes upstairs, and Wood, who hasn't seen a lot of action, just casually hangs on to that and forces a face-off.
Ashley Tate showing some good stick handling skills there with Ruggles all over him from behind, hooking and hauling, and then he breaks away from him and then tries a pretty soft shot from the tight angle, but it gets a face-off deep in Cardiff territory, close to the net of Jason Wood. Ashley Tate's father sitting in the row right in front of us in our commentary booth, and he was showing the skills there that have led to some interest from the NHL. The Mighty Ducks have had a look at Ashley Tate.
Taylor lets the shot go. The goaltender goes down, makes a pad save. I really don't know how much of that he saw, but he came up with the goods. A long clearance in by Francis, who takes a hit from Hunt. Trickett taps it to the far side. Smith takes him out of the play, and both teams are following through with their checks. Cleared out of the zone, and Shannon Hope has to go deep. 7 minutes on the period. 1-0 the score. Trickett chases that deep into Nottingham Panther territory. Capacity crowd here in Sheffield. This is live as Hunt picks it up. Cooper stays on him. Brabant collects the loose puck. Brabant runs into a sea of Cardiff players, and Cooper gets it up, gunning for Ruggles, and the pass was just about a foot too far. Icing is the call.
With the Cardiff Devils going that goal down, a short-handed goal by player coach of the Panthers, Mike Blaisdell, I just get a feeling, Paul, that they've opened up a little bit. They're pushing forward a little bit too much, and they used to have 3 guys. They've got an injury on the bench that they're dealing with. Heather Prue, dedicated backroom member, of the staff at the Cardiff Devils doing a job there on the bench on John Lawless. Oh, he looks more beautiful now than he started the game.
Cooper sends that all the way down the ice. Premack is shadowed by Ruggles. Weber couldn't get a stick on it, and the Devils keep it in the zone. Hope traps it before it hits the blue. Shot on the target, rebound. McEwen was there! Doug McEwen is followed up and hit by Premack. The two of them were going at each other. Nevertheless, the goal counts. It's a 1-1 game out there.
Close range effort from Doug McEwen, tying things up, which was exactly what the Cardiff Devils need. It's a bit of a scramble on the rebound, and he just squeezes it underneath Butler before he can sit down in time to block the route to goal. Butler makes the initial save, in and out of the glove though, and then McEwen manages to squeeze it in underneath Butler before he can slam the door shut. A little bit of argy-bargy afterwards, just frustrations from the defenseman Premack and over-exuberance from Doug McEwen, but it's a 1-1 game.
Premack knows he should have had him there. Once the shot is taken, he's got a key on the man right next to him, and that man right next to him is Doug McEwen. He should tie him up so he can't take that shot. Easier said than done when you got a guy like McEwen staring you in the face. McEwen in the face-off circle. Cooper gets it back to Hope. 6:18 remaining on the first period. It's a tie game now. The Devils have leveled it with that goal by McEwen. McEwen back in the thick of it. Lambert steals it. Lambert had a bit of problem there with McEwen, and Lambert comes up quickly. Lambert being chased by McEwen again. Up to Weber. Weber breaks in on the side, and McEwen gets back nicely to get the stick in to break it up with Lambert. And Weber buzzing around that net, got it out front. Weber trying to do a wraparound, just failed to do it. Nice to see that Weber is back in the lineup after that injury that kept him out for so long on his right leg. Long pass up to 80. 80 missed the puck and then took a hit. We're going to have a penalty out there. Brabant falls down and the Devils touch the puck. Whistle blows. Interference is the call. The interference call on 80 came because he didn't have the puck yet. He was taken out of the play.
Van der Horst, fresh to the league, fresh to the cup, fresh to Britain. 80 dumped it in, and he took a piece of him. I think he was going to run him over had he got the puck, and it would have been a fair hit. I think that's a bit of a harsh call, to be perfectly frank, because it was the player who passed the puck forward deep to no man. And as I understand the rules, it's fair game. The player that's last played the puck until someone else touches it, just about.
Well, if you're impeding the progress of someone who hasn't got the puck, then you're called for interference, and that's what they figured that Van der Horst did on that one, on 80. 80's happy with the call. 5:25 remaining on the first period, 1-1 the scoreline. Panthers deep on this power play with Brabant. Brabant, good fake to get away from Lawless. Weber, long pass to the far side. Brabant rattles that in off the boards. Blaisdell goes in to collect. Blaisdell slows it down, gets it back to Weber. Along to 80. The Panthers setting it up with Blaisdell moving out in front. McEwen putting in a lot of ice time in this first period. Working hard in the corner. Back to Weber at the blue line. 80 moves in quickly, looking for the return pass. The give and go doesn't happen, but Weber picks it up, puts it right in front. The shot doesn't come as Taylor gets it into the circle. A lot of passes yet again, as we saw earlier with the Devils, but no shots on goal. It only takes one, of course, as Taylor has it. He's got the big shot, the rebound off of McEwen. Trickles by the net. McEwen picks it up, finds an opening, and shoots it down the ice with 48 seconds to go in the power play.
Nottingham were there trying to get Chuck Taylor free on the blue line. He's got the big cannon. He's got the shot which rifles in from the blue line, and they're trying to get him open so he could get a good shot away on Wood.
The shot was a weak one, but Wood still had to make the save. That's chopped away. Brabant wants it back at the blue. Brabant tries to spin himself away, flips it in along the boards. Cooper has got his eye on Weber. Randall Weber has nowhere to go with that puck as this power play ticks down. 19 seconds. A shot from 80 right in front. And Jason Wood in the crease. Mops up, tidies up. 15 seconds on the power play.
Nottingham Panthers have had a very good power play in the cup so far. They've scored 32 power play goals on the way to the Sheffield Arena, but in this instance, the Cardiff Devils kept their shape beautifully, held the box, and Panthers resorted to trying to walk the puck in, and Jason Wood was able to deal with the threat.
Lambert is set for the face-off as Hope finds himself taking these face-offs, gets it over, the shot deflected away. Blaisdell took a swipe at that and somehow missed it. Did that bobble? 2 seconds on the power play, and Vanderhorst steps on the ice. 1-1 the scoreline, 3:24 to go in the period. Premack a good move to get away from Ruggles. Lambert is tied up, pushes that in along the boards. Stone takes his man out. Loose puck on the near side. Lambert gets it all the way back. Waghorn just hammers it along the boards, and that bounces nicely for McEwen. A one-on-one situation. Premack, McEwen, shot to save. Waghorn comes in quickly and clears it away and hammers himself into the piping. Waghorn picks up the puck. Good pass, some excellent stuff from Waghorn. No one on the far side of the rink was able to gather that puck. McEwen, who never seems to go off the ice, picks it up and starts to move. Cooper unable to grab that. Brabant hangs onto it nicely. Good pass over to Waghorn. Some good hockey in this first period. Long pass up with 2:35 to go in the period. The shot comes in. Wood makes the save.
He's a gunner, Simon Hunt, and he came in off the right wing there, shooting left as he did early in the game, and it can sometimes just deceive the netminder. Jason Stone turned sideways to watch that one go through, but he'd done a job. He'd stood Simon Hunt up, and he'd made him shoot from a long range out, and Wood should be able to deal with them, as it turned out to be the case. McEwen out there logging a lot of ice time. Perhaps that will tell come the end. Nottingham going with 2 lines, same as Cardiff, but Nottingham changing personnel on the wings on both those lines.
High flip along the boards away from Chin, but that comes down to Chuck Taylor. Taylor taps it forward to Brabant. Brabant has 80 on the right side, and number 21, Tate, up the middle. Tate took the pass and then took the hit. Taylor to the far side to trick it. Dumas goes after him, and it comes back to Chuck Taylor. Taylor with a long pass up in the air, and this could be a 2-liner, but it's not. 80 took the shot, Wood made the save, but the referee had his arms in the air and then dropped his arms and called off the call.
Paul Staniforth had his arm in the air for an icing call because it was played from behind the red line, I think, Paul, rather than a 2-line pass. It came straight off the red line, right on the boards, and 80 pounced on it, but the puck was on its end when he shot, and he didn't get a good piece of wood on it. What he has got is the face-off deep in Cardiff territory, and the former Devil, now a Panther, Rick Brabant, will take it to Nottingham against Claude Dumas.
1-1 the score with 1:57 remaining on the first period. A fast, physical first period, and really not a lot in it. Waghorn, far side of the rink. Pass right up the middle. Brabant looking for somewhere to go. A little tip through by number 21, Tate. Unable to hit the mark. That comes through. Brabant took the shot. That hit a skate. Brabant puts it into the corner. 80 wants to get it out front, but he can't. Brabant is right there, and Wood closes the door. And a lot of Cardiff Devils were standing around on that. Boy, they're going to have to get a little more physical in front of that net, that's for sure.
Good slick passing from the Nottingham Panthers. You've got to give them credit. Ashley Tate, the youngster, was involved in all those plays. Rick Brabant, simply the best. I'm glad someone else wrote that one and not me, but he had the whole goal to go for here, and Shannon Hope gets his skate on it just enough to take the steam out of it, and it pops around in the crease area.
Rick Brabant would like to have that one all over again. He kind of fanned on that shot. It's easy to say from up here, but if he had taken perhaps 1 or 2 more seconds, he was cruising across, difficult one, tried to hit it on the fly, and it just didn't come off. The puck is frozen along the boards. 1:21 remaining on the period. Another face-off in the Cardiff Devils zone. 1-1 the scoreline. This is the big cup final in front of a capacity crowd here in Sheffield. A magnificent sight to see all these people out to support these 2 great teams. Nottingham Panthers, the hottest team, as I said, in the country, undefeated in league play, only lost 2 games in the Benson Hedges Cup. And the Cardiff Devils, suffering from several injuries early on, really are getting back into their form.
Certainly are the two best teams in the country at the moment. The Cardiff Devils, who did Britain proud in the European Cup, reaching the semi-final stage. Yeah, they took a hammering up there against the pros from the Eastern Bloc countries, but goodness me, what a great job they did getting there, and what a great banner they flew for the British game. But the Panthers, as you say, Paul, right at the top in the league at the moment, the hottest powerhouse at the moment.
McEwen taps it over, and oh, a difficult shot from the goaltender as that took a wicked bounce off the edge of the puck with just 60 seconds remaining on the period. That could have been embarrassing, but those are very, very difficult to handle. Stone bangs it out of the zone, and that comes back in deep with 37 seconds. McEwen gets it over, and Hope brings it up on the right side. Hope finds an opening and puts it through as Waghorn gloved it down. Ruggles is spun around, and Ruggles goes after Waghorn in the corner. Well after the play had gone to the far side of the rink. Waghorn and Ruggles look at each other. Weber and Ruggles now hit along the boards. Levance has a go with Cooper. This is starting to get a little more physical. 10 seconds remaining. Neither team wants to give anything away in the final few seconds. 1-1 is the scoreline. A chance as Premack brings it up, but he's only going to make it to the blue line. After 20 minutes of hockey, the Cardiff Devils bring themselves back into this one, and they level the score. Blaisdell picked up the first goal of the game on a shorthanded effort, and then McEwen came back to make it 1-1. After 20 minutes, it's Cardiff 1, Nottingham 1. More action coming up for the second period in a moment.
You're watching
So far, and Rocky Zaganuk, I guess that Cardiff will be well pleased with the state of play right now.
Absolutely. You know, they came in here as underdogs, and everybody expects them to be down 2 or 3 goals right off the bat. But with them coming in the first period in a 1-all draw here, and the biggest thing they had was territorial advantage.
Yeah.
You know, and you're Nottingham sitting back there thinking you're going to be all over them. If you're always sitting back in your zone trying to come out, you get frustrated as time goes on.
And it's been pretty fierce and intense so far, hasn't it?
What do we see in the All-Star game? 3 accidental hits. We had 37 or 40 hits out there in the first period.
But how will Nottingham feel about this? I mean, hot favourites, they would be expecting maybe to take a lead in at this stage.
I would think that right now Mike Blaisdell's got his cut. He's got his work cut out for him right now in the dressing room. He's trying to control himself, get his guys all together right now in the dressing room to say, listen, guys, we got to just calm it down a bit here. Let's stick to our game plan. Let's keep attacking and keep attacking.
Yeah.
And he's got to try and bring it all together very quickly.
It certainly was territorially, as you say. It was really Cardiff Devils' first period, but in fact the Panthers scored first, and Mike Blaisdell was the man, and it was a great finish, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They got to like the old guys here every once in a while. This is actually Cardiff's on the power play here, and there goes Mike. He just busts along the way. Now, you'd never think an old warhorse like him would have a lot of speed, but he makes a great fake here. He goes to shoot the puck, which freezes the goalie for a second. He gives him a chance to go wide, and then he has the whole 6x4 net to shoot at. You'll probably see it on this angle a little better coming up here. There we go, Mike breaking away using his speed, and just as he's ready to shoot it, he takes a big wind up here, which freezes the goaltender Woods, and he goes wide around him, and then stuffs it nicely in the back of the net. No chance at all.
So that early score then really a bit of a setback for Cardiff, but to their credit they stuck at it, and they continued to dominate.
Absolutely, they kept the pressure up. They were just attacking when they needed to. But what Cardiff does really well is that they can counter back the other way, and they've got Dougie McEwen. I don't know anybody in the league that reads the play better than he does. He knows how to just get himself in the position in the right way to pick up a loose puck, make something happen down the ice and score a goal. And he did it on this
Yeah,
side
McEwen's effort for that equaliser was terrific, wasn't it? He played a major role in the whole thing.
Absolutely, all the way down the ice. Now, as you see here, here's Dougie going to the front of the net to get the rebound, and it falls right in the feet for him, and he winds up scoring the goal. But before this, Dougie is actually all the way up the ice, and he passed it back to Shannon Hope on the point. And as he passed it back, he went towards the net, and he gets his rebound and puts it home. But the whole play started with Dougie busting up the ice and reading the play early along the boards, getting to the puck, picking it up, feeding it back to the point man, and instead of just watching to see what happens, he started towards the net looking for a rebound, and he stuffed home a goal.
There's been a lot in the press this week about Cardiff fielding this understrength side, you know, weakened by injuries and so on. They've got their new signing, Jamie van der Horst, and he's played really well.
This guy, talk about injuries and people getting injured. This guy's going to hurt somebody out there because he's a big, strong Dutchman. This guy can hit, and he tried a couple out there, and as the league goes on this year, people are going to be watching out for him. But was Cardiff really hurt that bad, or was it one of these psychological things, you know? And you're just teasing people, making them think you're going to be hurting a little bit the underdog, and then you come out playing like that.
Are you surprised, perhaps, that we've only seen 2 scores so far? Did you think there might have been more?
No, I expected a good, tight period like this with a lot of chances, both goaltenders making some good saves. I still predict that we're going to get probably between 8 and 10 goals scored here in this game.
So how do you see this next period shaping up?
No different. Cardiff's going to play. They got their game plan right now. That's how they want to play. They want to keep it close and tight, cover the front of the net, and keep going. If anything, right now, Nottingham's off their plan just a bit. Cardiff's drawn him to some penalties. Nottingham's taken some penalties, giving Cardiff a chance on the power play, and they'll continue to do that. They won't change the way they are. Nottingham has to adjust just a bit.
But it's beautifully poised, isn't it? We've got a load of really good action to look forward to.
Absolutely, you know, and the fans here are exciting all the way through it. I can't keep you in the seat sometimes. You're making some of these hits out there.
We're getting so excited. Yes, I hope you at home are enjoying it as well. We're going to take a short break. See you again in a couple of minutes. Benson Hedges Cup final. It's 1-1 between Cardiff and Nottingham, and you can see there the view of this match according to a couple of Cardiff Devils fans. Devils to win, it says. All pigs, crossed out sheep, ready to fly. Yes, it's hidden behind that gentleman there, but never mind. They're enjoying themselves, as indeed I'm sure you are at home. It's an enthralling match. And as I said, it's 1-1. Chris Bowers is now talking to the man who scored for the Panthers in that first period, Mike Blaisdell.
Well, I think both teams felt each other out a little that period. Nobody was really playing that well, and I think it was a pretty evenly matched period, to tell you the truth. The score kind of shows what happened, 1-1. Definitely, no team really had the better of the play, I didn't think.
The match has played a tremendous pace so far, hasn't it?
Well, it's very hot out here tonight, and it's smoky in the building as well, so I think the players are feeling it a little bit, but yeah, it's a good pace. They know what's on the line, a big trophy, and so the players are going pretty hard, but it's hard out there. It's very tough.
You bet you enjoyed your goal.
Well, yeah, it was nice to see it go in, but as long as we win this game, I don't care how many I get. I don't care if I score again as long as we win this one.
You're confident at the moment?
Well, we feel pretty good. We're usually good in the second and third periods. We've been a slow starting team all year, so hopefully we can continue that trend.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Blaisdell talking there to Chris Bowers. And Rocky, just looking at Mike's face there, you were saying that he looks a little anxious. I mean, he scored a goal, so he ought to be pleased, but a little bit of anxiety.
That's what happens when you become a player coach. You know, he's out on the ice trying to solve problems and make sure he makes no mistakes. And he's trying to read the game, trying to get his players motivated. But as I said, there he didn't have a look of confidence. He looked a little concerned, like, how in the world are we going to get through these guys to get some goals?
It's a very tough role that he's carrying out, of course, as we said, player coach. You've got so many responsibilities weighing heavily on you.
Absolutely, as Johnny Lawless is trying the same way. But you know what Johnny Lawless has the advantage of is he has Paul Heavey, who's been there a while. Paul Heavey's a very good person behind the bench for Johnny Lawless to have. He can motivate the guys and keep them going, and that's a little advantage right now that Cardiff has.
Yes, we're watching the two teams coming in, so we are very nearly ready to go. And as you can hear, the crowd here tonight in the Sheffield Arena, more than 8,000 of them enjoying this terrific match. And we can now rejoin our commentators for this second period of this Benson Hedges Cup final. That is, once again, Gary Moran and Paul Ferguson.
Well, we start this second period with a 1-1 scoreline out there, as we've said so many times. Blaisdell and McEwen, the goal scorers. Blaisdell on that breakaway, a shorthanded goal. And Dougie McEwen not only setting up that goal for the Cardiff Devils, but helping to make it happen. He put the puck back to Hope and then put a stick in front of the goaltender. So Butler may have been able to handle that a little more cleanly had the stick not been in his face. The puck fell down to the ice and McEwen said thank you and put it underneath him. So he was instrumental right throughout the play.
Doug McEwen, a real team leader for the Cardiff Devils, and he plays every which way, doesn't he? He's here, he's there, he's everywhere, and he'd even put the pads on if Johnny Lawless asked him to, and he'd go in net. This second period, I just got a feeling that even though the first period was quite quick and quite fast, I think the Panthers will try and up the pace. The shots on goal tell the story. 9 on Jason Wood, 12 on Steve Butler at the other end. That means the Cardiff Devils were out shooting the team that were expected to be favourites.
I think Rocky Saginaw hit it on the head when he said that Nottingham really haven't put their game together yet. They can play a lot better than they were playing in that first period. But both teams, as Mike Blaisdell said, we're feeling each other out. They really haven't settled into their styles of play. The Devils will be happier, I feel, with that first period result. They are suffering from the continued loss of Stephen Cooper, who's got that leg injury and won't be out or won't be here for some time. They also lost Paul Heavey, who's now become their assistant coach, to injury and eventually retirement. So on defense, they've been struggling. We get the second period underway here with the Devils playing from right to left. Graham Horner, the referee, drops the puck. McEwen, who else, taps it back to Hope. Hope takes it over the red line, and Butler gets an early touch, but lets it go to Ruggles. His goaltender's going to have to trap that puck. There's no point getting behind the net if you're not going to slow it down. Good pass up onto the wing. Here come the Panthers. 80, a lot of steam, a chance. The shot goes by the far post and whistles all the way down the boards. Premack will get back there first. Ruggles is right on his tail. Waghorn is there. Waghorn loses the puck in the corner. Some tidying up there as the Panthers get back in a hurry. McEwen loses out as Brabant picks himself up, and that goes all the way down the ice. But we're seeing a quick start in the first minute of hockey here in Sheffield.
Van der Horst, the new Dutch Canadian, comes out for a shift for the Cardiff Devils, and he seems to have adjusted very quickly that first period to British refereeing. I think in a league game or a cup game, they might have called him a few times for some of the challenges or the stick work, but in a cup final, Graham Horner, 27-year-old referee, has been letting things go.
Well, most referees would like, I say most, not all, and boy, I've met those other ones who don't, but most would like to see both teams play hockey and just let the game flow. The referee is not supposed to be a major part of it unless he's really called on to do so. The tip back to Taylor. Taylor from behind his own net puts it over to Trickett, a middle one-timer. Lawless gets in there and tries to give it to Dumas. Lawless and Lambert collide. Couple of nines out there. Blaisdell got it from Tate. Blaisdell breaks to the far side. Going after him is Carson. Blaisdell gets it to the side of the net. Trickett is out front. Can't get the shot away. Carson stayed on him. And now a chance for Dumas. The goaltender well and truly out of his net. Slides it over to the far side. Taylor casually skates over and eventually takes a swipe at it and gets it out of the zone, but it really didn't look like the Panthers wanted that puck. Both teams changing on the fly here as the Devils pick it up and get it out into neutralized territory. Chin is tied up by Blaisdell. Waghorn drags that down in his own zone. Little pass up the middle, and here comes Brabant. Brabant on the backhand side, right in front. The slide is there. Loose puck. Blaisdell picks up number 2. Oh, Christmas has come early for Mike Blaisdell.
Well, it was a gift, wasn't it? It was gift wrapped, and it had "knock me into the back of the net, please, Mike Blaisdell" written all over it. It was great work by the former Devil, Rick Brabant, who steams in and turns the soft one away. Simon Hunt had the first fan shot. It wasn't a good shot from Simon Hunt, but he got enough on it to create a rebound. It was lying there in the crease. And as you say, Paul, happy Christmas, Mike Blaisdell. And Jason Wood's down. There's absolutely nothing to stop the Warhorse turning that one in.
17:55 remaining on the second period. 2-1 the score now. The Panthers leading the Devils in this final. Ruggles is double teamed along the boards. Premack takes a shove from Ruggles. We're going to have a penalty. Loose puck, and Ruggles is spotted. The referee was standing there. He didn't see Premack, and he saw Ruggles. Isn't that the way?
Always the way. The referee sees the retaliation, cross-checking's the call against Hilton Ruggles, and he goes to the box. The Nottingham Panthers enjoy a man advantage, a power play, an opportunity to stretch the lead.
I personally think that was much ado about nothing. I can get a little classical about this, but it really didn't happen. They were both shoving, pushing a bit high, whatever, but again, a tight call. Blaisdell got it along the boards. Brabant and Blaisdell come together as Pope picks up the puck. Brabant slides it back into the corner. Taylor's got that big shot. That ricochets off McEwen's Stick goes upstairs. 80 ties up his man. Stone goes in there. Everybody piles into the corner. Brabant wants it, gets it out. Shot from a sharp angle. And it's tipped away. McEwen tries to get it out of his own. Cooper, who really has been a bit quiet in this one, gets it all the way down the ice. 1:24 remaining on the power play. Weber has it and starts up slowly. Weber coming up now to the blue line. Listen to the Panther fans getting behind Weber. Weber over to Blaisdell. Blaisdell circles, gets it back to Weber. Back to Blaisdell, who can't hold on to it, but 80 is in there to take up the slack. 80 still with that puck. Brabant is in front. Weber takes the shot right through a crowd, and a chance now for Cooper to get it forward to McEwen. A 1-on-2 situation. That doesn't bother McEwen. McEwen slams on the brakes, looks for somewhere to go, and tried to get it over to Stone. Stone doubled back in a hurry to intercept that. Nice play by Jason Stone, and a clever move just to dump it in with 39 seconds to go on the power play.
Nottingham Panthers want to get the puck down the other end, and they've given it away close to their goal. They want to get down the other end and get some shots on wood.
McEwen almost grabbed that at the right place at the right time. McEwen takes it for a long skate, kills off a few seconds, and then flips it high. Lambert being shadowed by McEwen. Pass in a neutral zone. 11 seconds on the power play. A loose puck bobbles away from 80, and that goes down the ice. Tate steps on the ice. McEwen goes off, and Dumas takes his place. The Devils are back at full strength. And that's shot all the way down for Vander Horst. Lambert stays on him. These two collided in the first period. Lambert wants to get his own back and just can't do it on that occasion. Vander Horst got the pass away. The shot comes in from Chin, steered away from Butler. The Panthers breaking quickly. They look like they've really settled in this period. Lambert takes the shot, and that's just over the top of the net. Lawless brings it out, gets it away from Tate. Lawless now breaking up to the far side. He's got Dumas and he's got Chin. 1, 2, 3, 4 Panthers back, and Simon Hunt collects the loose puck. 5 minutes gone in the second period. 2-1 the score. The Panthers leading this hockey game. Carson has to go deep into his own zone. He flips it over to the near side. Blaisdell against Lawless. Hunt against Carson. Everyone picking up a man, and that's the way it should be. Vander Horst hitting Tate, but Tate continues along the boards. The giveaway to Dumas. Dumas gets it up to Chin, who just slides it to Premack. No one really has much room out there. Premack takes a hit from Chin, but Chin goes down. Premack stays up on his feet. Lawless, as the Panthers go for a change, brings it up. Lawless gets it away from 80. Finds Dumas. Dumas takes the shot. Good save by Butler as he got the pad down. 6 minutes gone in the period. A rink-wide pass over to Hunt. Lawless goes after Hunt. Smith tried to take a swipe, lost his stick. Brabant lets the shot go upstairs. Wood makes the save. Hunt goes in, takes a couple of heavy chops, puts that into Brabant. All the way back to Trickett. Shot goes in, deflected over the top of the cage and over the plexi as Hunt starts to mix it up with Peter Smith.
Waffy Smith came straight on and ran Simon Hunt over, or tried to, but the pinball, the rolling ball, Simon Hunt held his speed and then saw off Peter Smith's challenge. A lot of mouthing, and Simon Hunt, he got 8 goals in the semi-final. He's had a lot of ice time in this game. That was Peter Smith's first shift in this one, but the Panthers have upped the pace, haven't they? Rick Brabant came through, blistering shot which comes through. Jason Wood takes it on the logo, on the front of the shirt, and it bounces away, and it could have gone any which way, but fortunately for him, the Devils managed to clear it. But I do feel the Panthers have upped the pace, and we've gone into another gear from the Nottingham team.
2-1 the score. Nottingham with 13:39 remaining on the period. Nottingham leading this as Premack for Nottingham gets it into the corner. Weber against Hope. Weber got away from a check. Brabant got it all the way back to Waghorn. Waghorn slides it in over that red line. Premack winds up, big shot right to the target. Loose puck to the side of the net. They can't put it in. McEwen grabs it and breaks up with Ruggles. Ruggles unable to reach that as Waghorn gets back in a hurry. 80 on the boards. turns around quickly. Both teams breaking very, very quickly in this second period. Ruggles has not been on his game in this one. He's missed a couple of passes, albeit one of them in the last couple of seconds has not been on the money, but usually this guy will get to it no matter what. A high flick over the net. McEwen tries to break in. He takes a hit, but hangs onto it. He takes it out of the zone. Ruggles has to come out along with Cooper to avoid the offside. Stone. Shot on the target is an easy one for Butler to save, and that's cleared out as both teams again go for a change. Pope happy to get it out, but does he get it far enough? Premack comes in, tries to work it on his own. Stone stays on him and steals the puck and clears it out of the zone. Weber winds up, high shot off the glove of Jason Wood. Nottingham Panthers complete their change. Ruggles on the far side of the rink. Gets away from Tate, or does he? No, he doesn't. Tate slows him down enough so that Ruggles loses the puck and eventually decides to take a break and put Dumas on the ice. Taylor gets it up to Trickett, back to Taylor. 12 minutes in the second period remaining, 2-1 to score. Panthers leading the Devils. A lot of hockey left in this one, folks. Tate is dragged down. That's going to be a penalty. Tate was hit by a clothesline. Hooking is the call, but this guy was brought down heavily.
Well, Dumas is getting a 2-minute penalty for hooking Ashley Tate from behind, and there you see the blade of the stick wrap round the youngster's elbow, which hold him down, and that's where a youngster's strength to a team, or his value to a team, comes in. An import hooking a British kid down on the ice, that's a hell of a penalty for the Nottingham Panthers. They've got an import off the ice for 2 minutes, and it was one of their British youngsters, one of their younger players, that drew the penalty from the opposition.
The hooking call by referee Horner leaves the Devils a man down with the puck in their zone. Coming up quickly, the Devils, a chance for Chin as he breaks. Chin tries to slide it around. The Devils are 2 men deep. Chin and Hope. Blaisdell comes up. Blaisdell drops it back to Brabant. Brabant goes in, takes the shot, the second shot. Whistles to the far side of the rink. The Devils were well and truly out of it there with 2 men caught deep. Lambert gets it all the way back to the blue line. Weber, shot low. The save is made by Shannon Hope in front of the net. Still not out of the zone as Taylor kept it in nicely. Lambert pinned against the boards is being pressed far by Chin and Vanderhorst. The shot is high and wide of the target. Lawless will get to this. Lawless takes a lot of time, and why not? He's got time to kill. No pressure on the far side of the rink. 1 minute on the power play. 10 minutes, 45 seconds on the period. The puck on the far side of the rink. Some good checking there from Ruggles, but Hunt gets it on the near side. 80 breaks towards the rink. Good save by Jason Wood as he got the skate out with 80 right in his face.
Clever play by Simon Hunt, though, to take the soft shot, which led to the rebound. He played for it. He looked for the rebound to fall onto AD's stick, and it nearly came off.
30 seconds on the power play. 80 picks it up right at the red line. 80 fakes the first shot, tries to go around Stone. Hope goes in. Hunt is positioned out front. Here comes Brabant. Couldn't get the shot away. Hope was all over him like a blanket. Hope is hanging on to the stick with Brabant all over him too. Hunt takes the shot, scores! Power play goal with 12 seconds remaining on the penalty. Simon Hunt brings it out front to make it 3-1.
Simon Hunt gets his 14th goal of the Benson and Hedges Cup this season. It was a cracking one as well. The penalty was nearly over. The Cardiff Devils had killed it for 1 minute and 48 seconds, but then Simon Hunt pounced. He'll shoot from anywhere, and he shoots here despite having a stick wrapped around his head a couple of times. Hope had a little hook at him to try and spoil it, but the Nottingham player turned on a sixpence and fired home top shelf.
3-1 the score. The Panthers extend their lead at the midpoint of the second period. The Devils are back at full strength. Pressure still coming from the Panthers. Blaisdell put it in. A big hit there by Lambert on McEwen. Another penalty coming up. Tate was dumped. Butler comes off the ice. The penalty will go against the Cardiff Devils. The goaltender is off the ice at the other end of the rink. The shot right on the target. Wood goes down as Blaisdell took a chop at it. Lambert takes a swipe at it. All the way back to the blue line. The moment the Devils touch the puck, they score! The goal is good. The fan scores that one. It was a delayed penalty. Tate is having a punch up here. Hope goes in to help out Wood. And all hell is broken loose here after that goal went in. There was a delayed penalty happening. Wood didn't like what he saw in front. He came out to take on Tate. Hope went in. And boy, this is going to take some time to sort out.
It all started with Shannon Hope and Ashley Tate quite a long time ago. Hope had a go at Tate. Tate sticked Hope back, and Hope threw the big elbow, which was the delayed penalty. That was going to be the call. Panthers pulled the keeper because as soon as Cardiff played the puck, they were going to draw a whistle. So Hope knew he was on a delayed call. Panthers got the 6 skaters onto the ice. Now that penalty wouldn't have been called now. Cardiff Devils wouldn't have anyone in the box because Panthers scored on the delayed penalty, and that would have wiped out the penalty had it come. But now because of the flare-up, Hope went straight in after Tate. Jason Wood went after Tate, but it's not more good play by the British youngster to draw imports into the box.
9:26 remaining on the second period. Shannon Hope is already seated in the penalty box. Let's see how this whole thing started. A delayed penalty was being called. The goaltender was off the ice. As soon as the Devils touched the puck, the whistle blows, so there's no danger of the goal going in at the other end of the rink. There's the goal. Let's watch it again. Some good stuff back at the blue line. Lambert doing some acrobatics to keep it in. The goaltender is down. The puck goes over him. Brabant scores, but the Devils are not happy.
Well, the Devils were upset because the extra skater was on the ice for the delayed penalty coming up against Hope. Again, as we'd said earlier in the period, Paul, retaliation gets called by the referees. And then we see the pile-up in the corner afterwards. Jason Wood comes out. Ashley Tate's got the full mask on. And there's Shannon Hope throwing a couple of punches in there. It could be big trouble.
That's the kind of thing I like to see. I played in goal, and the moment I got into trouble, I like to see the cavalry come in and help me out. Jason Wood was out there. Goaltenders, you know, they like to muck it up and they like to mix it up. But as soon as they see face-to-face, they see themselves face-to-face with another player, they like the biggest defenseman on the team to come in and help them out, and that's just what happened. Shannon Hope says, "Don't worry, little guy, I'll take your place."
But then all the Panthers players flew in there as well to help their youngster, to help Ashley Tate. At the end of the day, I come back to the point, a British youngster has fired up an import on the other team, and it's led to an imbalance out on the ice. As it stands at the moment on the clock, they're giving a penalty to Cardiff, and that'll give Panthers another power play opportunity.
Simon Hunt is now going into the box. Jason Wood is definitely going to have to get a penalty. Simon Hunt sits, the door closes. Hope is in there, but they're going to have to put somebody in for Jason Wood. I'm sure Jason Wood is getting a penalty. 4-1 is the score. Confirmation has now been put up on the scoreboard. Brabant's goal is allowed to stand. Shannon Hope shaking his head. The Canadian who now holds a British passport and played for the team that went to Milan last year to play in the Pool A, sits. And the officials are still trying to sort out this penalty situation here in the second period. 4-1 is the scoreline. Horner wants the teams to get ready to take this face-off. The penalty box door is still open over there, and the Devils are now sending over Townsend, number 12, to sit in the penalty box. The goaltender, of course, can't go off the ice unless he's thrown out of the game, so he needs a replacement. It'll be a 5-on-4 situation because we have coincidental penalties out there, along with one extra penalty to Cardiff.
The most important statistic, though, from the Nottingham viewpoint is that one. 4-1, they lead it halfway through the game.
Shot by Brabant. Trickles off the foot of Jason Wood. Taylor, big shot again, and Wood gets in front of that. Wood is really earning his money here in the second period. Brabant has got Blaisdell in the corner. Chuck Taylor back at the blue line. Brabant to Blaisdell. But Blaisdell has a bag full of tricks. And he got that one out to Weber, and Weber just couldn't control the shot. Weber brings down Ruggles. That should have been a penalty, as Lawless brings it up and then brings it back. Lawless. Well, Ruggles was detained by a hook. 80 takes it away from Lawless. And listen to the happy crowd in the background. Prevent takes the shot, and that goes into the corner. Lawless along the boards. Big Chuck Taylor takes him in even harder. And Weber puts a big chop on Ruggles. Ruggles is taking a beating out there, and the Nottingham Panthers are getting away with it. Brabant slides it back to Taylor, back to Brabant. A lot of traffic in front of the goalie. Taylor puts it upstairs. The rebound out front. Blaisdell! His hat trick! Whoa, so quick to pounce. Mike Blaisdell, 34 years old, is playing like a teenager.
What a dance from the old guy himself. This is going to be his last competitive game. The big cannon comes in from Chuck Taylor. What a great shot. It hits the backboards behind the goal before returning in front of the crease. Rick Brabant can't do anything about it, but 34-year-old Mike Blaisdell, 10 years in the NHL, he can. And he fires home, as you say, his hat-trick. And we have a 5-1 scoreline to the Nottingham Panthers, and again the power play unit has done a job for the Nottingham Panthers, and again I'd underline it, they've upped the pace, and that's what's turned the game their way at the moment.
Well, as much as I want to see Belanger playing in this league, I don't want to see this guy Blaisdell go. The scoreline now 5-1 with the Panthers leading the Cardiff Devils. 8 minutes and 2 seconds remaining on the second period. The Devils need to pick it up a whole bunch out there. Premack, Ruggles has been tied up. Cooper has been tied up. These guys really haven't had a lot of space out there. McEwen really has been the only one who's been allowed to move, but he can't do it on his own. There's a sense of urgency in the pace out there from the Nottingham Panthers. Hope. McEwen takes the shot right on the target. Butler, who hasn't seen a lot of rubber, got in front of that one. 7.5 minutes remaining on the second period as Hope gets back to clear it away, but Lambert has something to say about it. Hope now had a golden opportunity to pass it over to McEwen. Instead of that, he iced the puck. What a big mistake. McEwen was breaking down the right side, and now both teams are back at full strength. Even though they're playing 5-on-5, the players are allowed to come back on who were sitting in the box. They had to wait for that whistle.
Give some good credit to Stephen Butler, as you say. He hadn't seen a lot of the rubber for quite a spell. It had been down the other end of the ice, and when he was called upon to do something, he made a good stop in his goal for the Nottingham Panthers.
Dumas is out there. Van der Horst skates away from 80. Dumas is another guy who hasn't been able to perform. Coming up now to the final 7 minutes of this period. Dumas wants the puck. Chin is robbed just inside the blue line. A 3-on-3 situation. Brabant dropped it back. Weber takes the shot, just misses that far corner. The leg went out, but the shot was so slow, the timing was off from the goaltender. Lawless brings it up on the left side. John Lawless knows that he's got to pop 1 or 2 before the end of this period. Lawless gave it to Dumas when he had a perfect chance to shoot. Weber just gets it out of the zone. Van der Horst fires it right back in, and Trickett is there to collect. Up on the wing to Weber. Weber, with a lot of space, gets it out of the zone, taps it forward. 80 is breaking across the rink, but that goes behind him as the Panthers complete their change. Van der Horst ridden along the boards by 80. Chin goes in now, gets his stick up. Lambert muscles along with Chin. 2-3 Panthers in that corner. Weber has the puck. Dumas takes his man out, but the Panthers are winning the pucks in the corner. Wancourt, low shot along the ice. And again, just cleared away. Carson can't take the puck out. That's right in front. 80 almost did the cheekiest of tips to get that in the far corner. Premack comes up from the blue line and ties his man up. Tempers are beginning to flare in the corner, but I think that's frustration on the part of the Devils. They can't get started.
Some big hitting going on out there, and it's Paul Adey who's fired it up. You don't really give him the credit for some of the hitting he's done, but he was firing it up. That last goal for Panthers, 4 straight goals they've scored. It came from pressure that came from an 80 hit. John Lawless was trying to clear the Devil zone or kill off the penalty, and he was dipsy-doodling all on his own. 2 or 3 Panthers guys had been made to look a bit foolish. 80 came in and knocked Lawless over, won the puck, and that built it up. And it was 80 who was firing around there and bouncing around and knocking bodies around.
Francis and Smith get in each other's way, and it bounces for Lambert. Lambert, good move to get away from Francis. Drops it back. The shot doesn't come, but Premack follows in with a shot wide of the target. A lot of traffic in that goal as the net comes off its moorings, with Lambert being pushed and shoved. Stone right on his case.
I was going to say, remember too, the role Garth Premack's playing at the back, the unsung hero, they say, this year. He's a class act. He came from the Spengler Cup, as you said, Paul. Played for Team Canada. Unsung hero, holds the defence together. He's been teaching Waghorn and Trickett, and even 33-year-old Chuck Taylor a trick or two. Very calm out there, very good. And then we see Ross Lambert sticking his nose in where it's not wanted, as he always does. 5:23 to go, second period. 5-1, the Panthers lead it in the cup final.
McEwen tries to drop that back. Lambert ties him up. Shannon Hope is in the corner, gives it out into the near circle to Stone. Stone's pass for Ruggles is not a good one. Blaisdell over to the far side. Waghorn gets it up. Lambert breaks towards the net. The shot is there. Rebound right out front. Lambert is there. Loose puck as Wood went down. Stone was right in the goal crease. And Jason Wood did well to hang on to that. But what about this youngster Stone staying right where his man is? That's what he's told, you know. If a guy goes in there, you follow him. If he goes right through and buys a hot dog, you stay right with him. Stoney's there all the way. Stick up, skate in, losing his balance, but he hangs on in there.
It didn't look pretty, did it? But he did the job. He took Lambert out of the play. Give credit to this youngster, 21 years old, Simon Hunt, a motor mechanic from Nottingham, again took a soft shot to try and deliver a rebound for a line mate he saw driving the net.
The face-off, that comes back to Trickett. The shot bouncing over into the far corner. Brabant is there, Tate is there. He took a chop all the way back to the blue line. Trickett has time to shoot. The puck is up on its end. 80 fakes one way. McEwen goes after him. That goes back to Taylor. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Loose puck slides by the goal. And it's all Nottingham right now. A chance with Tate out front. Tate is tied up by Ruggles. You can see the Devils, how desperate they are. They've got everybody back. And Hope can't get it out of the zone. Stone now in the corner. Stone elects to drive it off the boards, down the ice. No icing call as the Devils get fresh legs out there. The Devils are struggling in this period. They trail by 4 goals, 4 minutes, 10 seconds. 5-1 is the score. They trail by 4. And we have 4 minutes now remaining on the period. Ruggles falls into the boards. Blaisdell touches the puck and the offside whistle blows at 3:56 remaining in the period. And you can see here that the Nottingham Panthers are a little hungrier than the Devils. They're forechecking like mad out there, and every time the Devils pick up the puck, they see a black and yellow shirt in their face.
And when the forwards aren't forechecking or back-checking if the Devils get possession, guys like Chuck Taylor, 33 years old, first year with a Premier Division outfit. Here in the Cup, I suggested it's got to be the biggest week of your career so far, and he agreed.
Chin squares off in the corner. The puck bounces nicely for the Panthers. Back on the attack comes Blaisdell. Blaisdell lets the shot go as he was followed into the boards by Van der Horst, and Van der Horst gave him a big shove for good measure, and back come the Devils. Dumas runs out of places to go. Van der Horst goes deep. A big shot from Lambert. Van der Horst taking in the boards, but he kind of shrugged off Lambert, who bounced into the woodwork, and here comes Dumas, a shot, good save, the follow-up, and Wallace couldn't get there. Good save by Butler. Now, Butler's only had a handful of saves to make, but he really has looked sharp on all of them. That one's right on the money by 80, and Wood comes up with a save.
Super pass from promising junior international Lee Carson of the Cardiff Devils. Fed Claude Dumas for this breakout, and he comes all the way up, and as you say, he could be cold, Stevie Butler, but he doesn't look cold, he looks hot to me.
Face-off at the other end of the rink to the left of Jason Wood, the 22-year-old goaltender, as he looks down the ice. McEwen got that to Hope, and Hope bangs it off the boards into neutral ice territory. Ruggles up against Trickett. McEwen, a bouncing puck, can't control it. Back to Stone. Stone flips it over the blue line, and Taylor is there. 2 minutes, 49 seconds remaining on the period. Taylor is brought down. Cooper brings it over the blue line. He's got Ruggles. Ruggles gets a shot away, and that's steered away by Butler. One of the problems in this period is that the Devils have not been able to get quality shots on goal. They have been lucky to get it over that red line, let alone inside the blue line. The shots have been coming from distance, one or two not bad shots from the likes of Ruggles and number 16 Claude Dumas, but really they haven't threatened, they haven't dominated like the Panthers have done in this period.
Well, the Panthers have certainly grabbed hold of the game by the scruff of the neck, and to illustrate the point you've just made, Paul, it was a shot on target from the wrong side of the red line, so we have to have a face-off down in Devils territory.
Premack, Ruggles, Brabant, 80, whistle blows as the official tells the timekeeper to open the penalty doors. Premack and Ruggles will sit. Graham Horner wasn't happy with that confrontation.
They've both gone in 2 minutes, roughing penalties apiece, so they won't show on the board. They should appear as coincidentals, but of course, just to make me out to be a liar, we're going to put them on the board and we're going to play 4-on-4.
You get that book open and start over.
Yeah.
Face-off will be just inside the blue line with 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go in this period. Stone lines up, his shot is deflected. Stone brings his man down in the corner. 80 gets up slowly, and Stone could have been called for tripping off the play, but again, Horner lets it go. Hope takes it away. McEwen, little back pass is not a great pass, but Stone comes up in a hurry to pick it up. Stone goes in now, has no one to play with out there. The Cardiff Devils are not looking sharp here. It's a 4-on-4 situation. They've got some excellent skaters out there, and they should be throwing that puck around a lot better than they are. 1:43 remaining on the period, 1:21 on the penalty. Cooper takes the shot wide of the target. What are these guys doing? Bounces out to Shannon Hope. Hope has Stone breaking on the far side. Hope just drives it in. It doesn't look like the Devils want to take a quality shot on the goal. Now Chin grabs it. Chin breaks quickly, falls down, picks himself up into the corner. Waghorn stays on him. Chin looking to jam it in that short side. That didn't happen. Coming up on the near side, the Panthers, with 49 seconds to go on the penalties, shoot it down the rink, but that goes through the crease. The icing call is waved off. McEwen grabs it. McEwen going up. Can he break away? Taylor got a piece of him. Lambert goes in to finish him off. Chuck Taylor just got the stick in at the last moment. 52 seconds remaining on the period. Stone and McEwen collide. Things are not going well for the Devils. Uncharacteristically, they're bumping into each other. They're not making good passes. What will happen in the third period? Boy, they got to put it together then. Blaisdell, who has been red hot in this one. Blaisdell to Lambert. Tipped away at the last moment. Trickett takes the shot, and the goaltender was down, makes the save with just 31 seconds on the period. 10 seconds on the coincidental penalties.
Well, it was a spell of 4-on-4 play, that, with 10 seconds to go on the penalties, you say. We've got another 10 seconds before the teams both get a man back, but it looked like a Cardiff Devils power play. The Nottingham Panthers 4-on-4, they look like a team trying to kill a penalty, sending the puck down the ice and what have you. But it is a big ice surface, isn't it? They say it's a big ice surface for 5-on-5. Take two bodies out of there, and I'm surprised the Devils could find a lack of space to bump into each other.
Dumas now breaking at center. Again, we see a Cardiff player all on his own. Dumas tried to break through and almost did. Lawless comes up. 18 seconds as the teams get back to full strength. 18 seconds remaining in this second period. Now down to the final 10 seconds. Premack wants it. Premack ran into trouble there with Blaisdell as they both scrambled for that puck, and the whistle blows with just 4 seconds remaining on the clock.
And what a period it's been for the league leaders, the Nottingham Panthers. They did come into the cup final as favourites, and they've grabbed hold of this game, as I say, by the scruff of the neck. They've stamped their authority on it, and they've had 4 unanswered goals from Blaisdell, Hunt, Brabant and Blaisdell's hat-trick. 2 power play goals in there, and a short-handed goal first period. Special teams doing a job for the Nottingham Panthers, and that gives them a 4-goal cushion.
4 seconds remaining on the clock. The player coach Blaisdell wants to make sure that nothing happens in the final 4 seconds, and nothing will happen as that's shot all the way down the ice. The whistle goes to end the second period, and as you said, Gary, what a period it was for the Nottingham Panthers. Blaisdell started things off in the first period with a shorthanded goal. McEwen leveled it up, and after 20 minutes of hockey, it was 1-1, but this second period belongs to the Nottingham Panthers. Blaisdell, punt, power play goal, Brabant, and Blaisdell, another power play goal. What will happen after the break? Join us. That's the scoreline right now. Nottingham 5, Cardiff 1. Still 20 minutes of hockey to go.
17. You're watching Sky.
Second period, and you can see now Cardiff are trailing 5-1 against the Nottingham Panthers, and as we suspected, the favourites have started to show what they can do. And it's significant, Rocky, isn't it, that if you remember against Edinburgh in the semi-final, Nottingham had a very good second period there. They scored 10 times.
Yeah, they really came out strong in that period against Edinburgh, and again today they kept the pressure up. We talked about Mike Blaisdell looking a little concerned there at the end of the first period, figuring what are we going to do to get this going. And, you know, they said, let's just get back on our game plan, attack, and that's what they wound up doing.
You made a very good point to me just before the start of this second period. You said a lot of it needed to come from Brabant.
Yeah, I mean, here we're talking about Rick Brabant. As far as I'm concerned, probably the best import in the last 5-6 years for consistency. You want a champion on your team, you pick up Rick Brabant, and he turns teams into champions. Yeah,
we didn't see much of him in the first period, hence it was 1-1. We have seen a lot now, and look at what's happened.
Yeah, Rick Brabant went out there and he wound up scoring on 3 of the goals there as far as getting points. He scored 1 and had 2 or 3 assists along the way. He did a heck of a job that period.
We heard Mike Blaisdell saying earlier on he didn't care if he didn't score again as long as they win, but in fact he's done it brilliantly, and he scored their next goal to put them ahead again.
I just don't know how Mike's going to wind up getting out of playing here. Now here goes Rick Brabant. He winds up picking the puck deep in at center ice. He drives around the defenseman. He starts going to the net, and he throws the puck out front. Now, a real lucky break for Blaisdell. It bounces off one of the Cardiff Devils defenseman's skate and comes right to him from the net. Another just chipped in. It was an easy goal for him, but still, Rick Brabant did a lot of work by driving to the net, using his speed and his strength to get himself in a position to make that pass out front.
Right, and now Simon Hunt is somebody else we've seen quite a lot on the road to Sheffield. He's played really well. Hadn't got on the score sheet so far, but in fact he got the next one.
Yeah, we were talking about Simon Hunt and his composure a couple of weeks ago, how he scored 5 or 6 goals. Today, he comes out of the corner real easy, keeps his composure coming out front, and he just doesn't shoot it right away. He takes his time, goes upstairs because he knows that Wood's going to go down and try and cover the lower section of the net when it's a screen like that. And he used his smartness there as a young player, and he went upstairs with the goal and found the target.
Just using, as you say, his brain instead of instinctively just having a shot.
Absolutely. Taking a little bit of composure, relaxing a bit, and concentrating on what he had to do.
Now, you mentioned Brabant. We talked about him. He, too, got on the score sheet, and that made it 4-1.
Well, this is when all the fireworks kind of hit here. What happened here was, I think Woods here, he gets stripped up there by Tate. It comes back to the point here, and Rick Brabant gets the puck off to the side. Now, at this time, Jason Wood's been knocked down by the Nottingham player. You can see Jason down there. Rick just had to shoot at the net. Yeah. And that's when the fireworks hit. That's when Woods went after the Nottingham player, I believe it was Tate. Something happened in front of that net, and I got a feeling that Tate took a stick and he got it underneath of Wood's feet, and he pulled him out from underneath him just as the shot was going to come. Put him down on the ground.
I want to maybe talk about the punch-up, if you like to call it that, in just a moment. We'll go into a bit more detail, but let's go on to the next score. Mike Blaisdell again, and he really is just going from good to better.
Chuck Taylor's got an awesome shot, and he comes and he just rips a cannon. It comes off the glass, and it comes back, what, about 25-30 feet. Mike Blaisdell, using his strength and his coolness, just chips the puck in. You know, Mike Blaisdell's so hard to move in front of the net. He's so determined to get the puck and put it in when he's standing in there. He's a big, strong man. Yeah. It takes a big, strong man to move him, and if you're not in front of him, you give him an opportunity to score goals like that, it's a lot easier for him.
You also felt, I think, didn't you, that Cardiff really needed to get back at the end of that period. They needed a goal to make themselves believe they can do it.
Yeah, they looked like a team at the end there that were tired. They looked like a team that had been beaten up over the last couple of weeks and serving injuries. They didn't have that jump we see in the first period. No. First period, they defended well, but they also attacked with a lot of vigorance. That period there, they looked like they were just wanting maybe to preserve a close game and just stay back. They weren't really attacking, and it kind of backfired on them there.
There has been, thankfully, just that one incident so far when the fist flew, and there was all sorts of mayhem out there on the ice.
Yeah.
Now, we think this is why it happened. You explain.
See, there's Tate there. Steve was standing in front of that. Look where his stick is, right inside, and he pulls his feet from underneath Woods. Right there, he yanked him from down, and referee didn't see it now. Woods is down on the ice. He takes a swing at him.
Yeah.
Hope's pointing to say, hey, that should have been a penalty. In the meantime, the play keeps going.
Saying the referee, why don't you know,
the goal scored. Now Woods just blows up. He's really upset. And everybody gets involved here. And right now, Phil Tate must feel like Custer.
I know you felt that maybe that they were a bit lenient over the punishments handed out for this.
Yeah, the referees, they were lenient. It's a big important game, and they don't want to throw an important player like the goaltender, but the goaltender did leave his crease, and he wound up getting into an altercation along the way. Referees did a good job breaking up that altercation. It didn't get on and on and on. They allowed the players to stay within the game, and that's what the fans and everybody paid here to watch. They want to see the best play, and it'd be unfortunate if they had thrown out the game then.
Rocky, if you were in the Cardiff dressing room right now, what would you be saying to your team?
I've been in this position many times. I've been in this position against Sheffield in the semifinals, and we were down 5 goals, and we come back and scored 6 in a row. And all you're doing in there is just trying to get your guys not to let any more come against you. You want to score one good one. And maybe you want to get a fluky one, and maybe another fluky goal, and all of a sudden now you're back in the game. And it doesn't have to be pretty goals that you're scoring. It could be bouncing off a deflection, off a guy's head or whatever. All you need is one good goal, maybe one fluky one, you're back in the game, and that's what they're trying to do right now.
You believe that's possible?
Absolutely. Ice hockey can be done. There's no doubt about that. In ice hockey, it is not over. You can be down 2-3 goals with 2 minutes left to play, and the beauty and the excitement of this game is that as a fan, you're sitting on the edge of your seat because you can't wait until the final buzzer, because you just don't know if it's going to be over or not.
Well, we'll look forward to finding out if Rocky Saganuk is right or not. The whole of the third period coming up live and exclusive here on Sky Sports 2. It's the final of the Benson and Hedges Cup between Cardiff and Nottingham, and you can see it all in a couple of minutes from now.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Here's Cardiff 1, Nottingham 5. Nottingham very much in the driving seat, and we can now go backstage to the dressing room of the Nottingham Panthers. Mike Blaisdell, the player coach, of course, will be very happy with the way things are right now. So that was the scene in the Nottingham Panthers dressing room. We are about to start this third and final period, but just before we do, Chris Bowers is now talking to the Cardiff player coach, John Lawless.
John Lawless, what went wrong in that second period?
I think we lost our discipline. We got a few silly penalties, and they got a good power play, and we opened up. They got a lot of goals shooting and then going to the net and getting the rebounds. We didn't clear it in front of our net, and we had a solid first period. We let it slip there, and you can't afford to do that against a team like this.
You also didn't create that many chances in the second period. What's going to change in the third?
Well, they're such a strong defensive team. They got some big boys at the back. Unfortunately, we're going to have to try to open it up. And when you do that, you're exposing yourself in the back. But hopefully, we can maintain or regain our discipline.
So we're about to get underway. It's Gary Moran and Paul Ferguson for this final period.
Referee Graham Horner calls the teams together. The Nottingham Panthers playing from right to left. The final 20 minutes of this third period, live from the Sheffield Arena. 5-1 the score. The Panthers are leading, and Waghorn gets the touch and gets the return pass. The Nottingham Panthers went into this game as favorites, and they became favorites because of the solid team effort that they put out. It's a two-way hockey game for them. The forwards are coming back, and they're playing some good defensive stuff. The defensemen are going forward and helping out in front of the net from time to time. They're moving the puck around. It isn't a one-man show out there. And right now they're playing as a unit. And that's why they're leading by 4 goals. Hope. Shannon Hope. Cooper along the boards, loses out to Brabant. Cooper really has been quiet. In fact, he's been a real disappointment out there, and he needs to get his act together, along with a lot of other Cardiff Devils, if they want to bring this one back from the wilderness. The long clearance goes down the ice, and icing is the call. Gary, it's a big mountain to climb, isn't it, for the Cardiff Devils?
All they can do, Paul, is take it. I know it's a cliche, one shift at a time and try and get a goal, as Rocky said, then try and get 2 goals, and then it's down to a 2-goal spread on it, but the Nottingham Panthers know they've got the 4-goal cushion. They've got the 2 full lines. Cardiff do play 2-line hockey in big games like this, but they haven't really got 10 top-class players. They go with 7 or 8.
Taylor took the shot, and it's cleared easily in behind the goal. Carson starts to mix it up. Tate takes a hit in there, and things start to get a little physical along the boards, and that's exactly what the Devils need to do. They're not going to outmuscle this team, but at least they're going to show them they're in a game. Dumas. Lambert is taken out by Vanderhorst. A chance for Lawless, but Lawless is all on his own, and this has been one of the problems. The Devils come up, and it's a 1-on-3 situation. Boy, you're not going to do anything too positive against any team in this country, or any country for that matter, with a 1-on-3. Penalty coming up. High sticking is the call. Horner whistles that one down in a hurry as Lambert looks at the referee and then skates casually over to the penalty box. Power play coming up here. 18:45 remaining in this period.
High sticks the call against Ross Lambert, the workhorse of the Nottingham Panthers, 32-year-old. Really shining this year for the Nottingham Panthers. He gave the referee the dirtiest of looks there, though, because he felt Graham Horner had been suckered into it. He felt Nicky Chin had held his stick and lifted it up high and lifted it around. As we have a look at it again, you see Lambert sticks down on the ice as he tries to clear it, and there Chin's got hold of it and sort of lifts it up.
That comes back onto Primac's stick. Primac fires it down the ice. Shannon Hope will start it up for the Devils. His pass up onto the wing. Cooper looking for a little support, but there's no one up there. Where are the Devils? Now Ruggles comes in the corner. McEwen was late to get there. Ruggles loses out, picks it up again. Ruggles gets it back onto the D. Stone into Ruggles. Behind the net, Cooper can't control it. Shannon Hope rattles it off the boards. McEwen wants to do something with it, but can't. Back to Hope. Hope puts it in beside the net. McEwen is there. Look at the Panthers playing some good defensive hockey. Hope with a chance to shoot, but elects to go to the far side to Stone. The shot comes in. It's a weak run, and Waghorn picks up the rebound. Cooper is there, puts it upstairs. Well, just a moment ago, I said that Cooper was not performing as well as he should have. I doubt it very much if he heard me. But he's come back to prove me wrong. Power play goal.
Nottingham Panthers doing everything right, as you said, Paul, on the penalty kill, except get the puck over the blue line into safety. And if you don't get it to safety, you might as well not win it around your goal area. Cooper pounces and gets the second for Cardiff. Waghorn failed on the last attempt to clear the zone and send it down the ice, and Cooper puts it in to the net. Their first goal in nearly 30 minutes of play.
Bounces over to the far side with the Panthers back at full strength. Lambert sitting out for high sticking. A chance for Hunt. Shot. Goaltender lost it in the net. Whoa, who else? Rick Brabant lost his stick after the goal went over the red line. And player coach Mike Blaisdell looks on so calmly, so coolly. Good steal here by Hunt.
Super play by Simon Hunt. And Jason Wood doesn't know where it is, and if he just sat back, he would have covered it, but Rick Brabant scores against his old club, and he wants to win more than anyone.
Well, the best way to come back in a game after you've been scored on is to score one for yourself. As you said, Gary, Wood lost that, and it was left wide open for Brabant to make it 6-2 the score, 17-22 remaining in this hockey game. Just when we thought maybe the Devils were going to come back, it wasn't to be. Still a long way to go, but Brabant may have something to say about it. He usually does. Brabant gets a rough ride against the boards by Vanderhorst. This guy certainly throws his weight around. Dumas against Trickett. Trickett wins that battle, and it comes all the way back to Stone's stick. Stone gives it up to Chin. Chin neatly to the far side to Lawless. Lawless right in front, but Trickett is there to tidy up. Trickett again takes a swipe at it to Taylor. Taylor nicely off the boards. Hunt is trailing. 80 comes up. Lambert is there too. Hunt just couldn't bury it. 80 takes the shot. A crowd in front. That hit a body. Chin picks it up, slows it down, and takes it to the far side of the rink and just shoots it down the ice.
80's shot slammed into the side of Simon Hunt, and I think he would have shot it even harder till he saw his line mate was the one most likely to get in the way of it. Professor Hardcastle just in the corner of your screen there, the team doctor, with nothing to do on Hunt. Hunt with that attempt on Wood couldn't quite get his stick down, and I do think 80 didn't pull the trigger as hard as he might have because his teammate was in the way.
Face-off deep in Cardiff territory as that bounces to Stone. Stone can't get it out of the zone. Along the board, Stone takes his man out. Hope is there to pick up the loose puck. Hope does a 360 to get away from Tate. Gets it up to Cooper. Cooper breaking down on the right side. A high flip in, glove down by Butler. He'll hang on to that as everyone crowds to the side of the net. We'll have a face-off deep in Nottingham territory as we approach the first 4 minutes of this period.
Steve Butler winning the battle of the netminders so far in this one. Both these netminders, Jason Wood and Steve Butler, improved their save percentages at the semi-final stage of the Cup. They didn't tread water or go backwards. They got better as the competition's gone on.
Blaisdell got it up to Tate. Tate goes in from a sharp angle, takes the shot right in the net. The goaltender goes. The whistle blows as the net comes off its moorings. Young Ashley Tate did not slow down for a minute. Watch this.
He drives the net and drives it all the way. You've got to be motoring. The faster you're going, the faster the puck's going. But what was nice to see was after the collision and they all went down, Wood and Tate banged each other on the pads, and they were the two that were in the middle of the fracas in the second period.
Face-off in the Devils' zone. Teams eventually get set for this one with Dumas against Lambert. Lambert wins the draw, but the Devils somehow come up with a puck with Lawless on the far side of the rink. Tapping it forward, Dumas can't get the pass. That really has been the story of this game. The precision passing from the Devils that we're used to seeing isn't working, isn't clicking. Chin all on his own, waits for a little support. The shot off the post. Dumas, the follow-up shot, just couldn't bury it. Back to the blue line. Carson puts it in front, and Trickett got a skate on it to clear it away. Chin goes in hard and somehow missed Tate, but Tate fell down anyway. Maybe it was the wind force that took him down. Dumas tries to spin around and get the shot away. Lambert comes up with the puck. Lambert breaks down on the left side. Carson goes after him and smothers him against the board. Chin behind the net takes a shove from Blaisdell. Van der Horst just pushes it along the boards, and that's a giveaway. The Devils getting it out of the zone. Waghorn pumps it right back in as the Panthers and the Devils get a quick change. 5 minutes gone in the period. 6-2 the score. Icing is the call. We'll have a face-off all the way down in Cardiff territory. Boy, the Devils came close there.
Well, if Cardiff Devils wanted any proof that perhaps this isn't to be their night, Nicky Chin fires the first one, it hits the post and ricochets off to the side. Claude Dumas fires the second one, and it's a couple of inches behind the post and hits the side netting and bounces to safety from Nottingham's viewpoint.
Sometimes you can't put the puck in the ocean out there, and that's the story so far for the Devils, but things can change. Loose puck along the boards, comes back to Premack, a quick release, the rebound allowed to come out from behind the net. The Devils, McEwen, great move. McEwen comes up, he's good on his backhand, still with McEwen, tries to put it in. Ruggles can't get it through the pads. The sticks go up with Ruggles and Premack. These guys have seen each other before. Great solo effort to the very last moment there by Doug McEwen. He loves to get on the backhand side. Look at the stick handling from this guy.
Super stuff from the Canadian Indian as he stick handles his way around the defense, and then he takes the shot, but Butler's got the pads down there, and then we see Ruggles trying to come in on the rebound, and it's a very strong Garth Premack, and has to be strong because that's one of Ruggles' strengths as well, pouncing on rebounds, but they fence each other off, and it's a face-off near Butler's goal.
McEwen actually ran out of places to go there. I'm sure if they'd opened up the end of the rink, he'd still be skating. 14-18 to go in the hockey game. Premack hits the red line and slides it in and then goes for a break. Van der Horst falls as he goes to get that one, but recovers nicely to take his man out of the play. Brabant takes a hit from Van der Horst, puck to the side of the net, and the net is lifted up off its moorings. Loose puck is there. Weber took a swipe at it, and everybody comes in, and Van der Horst gets a taste of the action as they start to muscle with Smith and Lawless and Brabant having a go at each other. It's hard to believe that Lawless and Brabant used to be teammates not that long ago.
Well, Rick Brabant shakes his head at John Lawless, the player coach, but there's frustrations behind that one, isn't there?
Absolutely right, and Graham Horner is saying, hey, you guys, get off the ice, cool down a bit, and come back when you're ready. The both doors are open. Lawless is over there.
There was some hitting from Van der Horst again, which started it all. He's been playing a feisty play. Weber from Nottingham going to the box, and John Lawless from the Cardiff Devils. They'll both be on roughing minors. 2-minute penalties for roughing with 13:59 to go, third period. Van der Horst still hitting bodies, but I get the feeling he's running out of steam, Paul. I don't know how many weeks it is since he was playing competitive hockey. I mean, Geleen, the team he was with in Holland, went belly up a couple of weeks ago. Here we see the action again around Jason Wood. Paul Adey is nailed from behind by Lee Carson into the goal, and then it's Van der Horst that throws the big hit that upsets people and has a go there at Weber, and then everyone comes steaming in, and Brabant comes in to protect Weber.
But that's his job. The defenseman is supposed to clear the space out there. Well, we're back live with 13:53 remaining on the period, the final period. 6-2 is the score. The Devils are trailing by 4, and we have a couple of players, one from each team, in the penalty box. The Devils now need to string it together. Cooper takes the shot that goes off of Trickett's pads. Trickett and Cooper fall. Lambert picks up the puck and gives it to Blaisdell. Blaisdell breaks for open ice and goes back for a skate. He's playing the game of his life out there. His pass off of Lambert's skate. Good shot, just wide by Ruggles. Boy, he had the far side of the net. Right in front, the return shot by Cooper is a weak one, steered away. Stone and Ruggles on the far side. Trickett is there. Chuck Taylor picks up the puck from behind the net and starts to motor. Taylor finds his man on the far side. Blaisdell winds up, takes the shot. Wood is there as he came way out to make the good save. Ruggles right on the target, and Butler makes the save. We'll have a change of personnel, but what good end-to-end stuff in this final.
Super stuff. 4-on-4 play. It's a big ice surface anyway, and then when the guys are given that extra few feet of room, they've been using it. Beautiful passing from the Nottingham Panthers, pleasing their fans there as they steamed up the ice one way. Blaisdell with the big shot. Wood having to come a long way out. He was virtually at the hash marks to make the save. And there's Chuck Taylor's youngster. Not quite fully involved in the game, but I think Dad will tell him about it later.
Probably in about 6 years' time. Hunt, a 1-on-2 situation. Slams on the brakes, goes back. 44 seconds on the coincidental penalties. 12 minutes, 40 seconds remaining on the game. Hunt on this wing. Taken out of the play and beaten to the puck as that shot all the way down the ice by Van der Horst. Well, Van der Horst took him out of the play, and then it was shot beyond him into the far corner. Chin is there. Chin ties his man up, and the Devils now coming back. Stone ran out of ideas. We had Stone and Van der Horst, two defensemen up front, a 2-on-1 situation, and nothing came of it. Hunt drops it back. 7 seconds on the penalties. Premack takes a swipe from McEwen. McEwen wants it. Both teams are back at full strength. Less than 12 minutes to go on the hockey game. McEwen trying to do it on his own. This guy can do it on his own. Oh, and he tried to go upstairs. Banged it off the metalwork. Hope, perhaps one too many moves. This game is wide open now. Here comes Adey. Adey breaking through, looking for Weber. Back to Adey, scores! Number 7 for the Panthers.
What a super goal. The Panthers broke from deep in their own zone, and they ended up 4-on-1. 4 forwards steaming down the ice. What would have been going through the defenseman's mind? He wished he wasn't there. So did Jason Wood. The Panthers knocked it around. Lovely tic-tac-toe stuff, you've got to say it. Adey finishes it off. Weber sets him up. It's a pass from Adey to Weber and back across the face of the crease. Nothing Wood can do about that. Best goal of the night.
This really is nice. You've got Lee Carson backing up. He goes after the puck now. He's totally out of the play. Whoa, it's a 2-on goaltender situation. 7-2 the score now. 11:32 remaining. Carson goes in, goes for the far corner, and misses the post altogether. Back on the attack, the Panthers looking stronger as this game goes on. Tate taken out of the play at the last moment. Chin comes up on the right wing. Chin fakes the shot, takes himself into the corner. Taylor and Chin square off, the sticks go up. Taylor did not like that shot. Dumas is there, trick it, rattles it off the boards. Hope winds up, takes the shot, wide of the target. Tate slams on the boards and takes the puck and gives it to Lambert. Lambert to Blaisdell. Blaisdell falls on the ice and the Devils go for a change. Both teams now changing on the fly. Offside is the call, and this will give me a perfect opportunity to remind you that about 3-4 weeks ago when we were in Cardiff, we mentioned that one of their biggest fans, Brendan Rauerda, could not be at the game because he was having a bone marrow transplant because he suffered from leukemia. Well, we wished him luck on that occasion. We now know that he is back watching, even though he's not here tonight, we now know that he's back watching Cardiff Devils hockey in Cardiff at the rink. And so good news for everyone who was very concerned about Brendan. And of course all the Devils fans who were wishing him well. Good luck to him. 80 behind the net. Stone is hammered into the boards by 80. Stone keeps in there. Hunt goes in to help out as the whistle blows, and we'll have another face-off. 10 minutes, 22 seconds remaining on the hockey game. Time running out for the Devils.
Well, as you say, Paul, less than 10.5 minutes to go, and that man, John Lawless, is thinking in terms of miracles on ice. That's another cliche, but at 33, he'll be wondering what to do. Unlike last year, the Devils won here 2 years ago when they beat Whitley. Last year, they lost to the Merrifield Racers. This year, he said, well, I'm only going to play if I feel the bench is in capable hands, and it is. Stephen Cooper and Paul Heavey are working the Cardiff bench.
Cooper picks up that rebound off the boards, gives it to Waghorn, who shoves it to the far side of the ring. Creamack just puts it in. The Panthers will be happy as long as the puck is in Devils territory. Stone brings it up. He's got Ruggles on the wing. Stone now hits the red line, flip it in, and he does. Cooper going in after it. The goaltender is well and truly out of the net. Oh, McEwen had a wide open net. And that really does tell the story of this hockey game for the Devils. There must be a sheet of plastic that we can't see in front of that net. How else could that not have gone in?
Well, the Panthers players at the moment talking to Stephen Butler saying, hey, don't give him gifts. Stephen Butler went round one side, it came out in front, Butler wasn't back, and McEwen still couldn't beat the keeper. The keeper did not make a save there. McEwen hit the keeper. Not going to be Doug McEwen's night. He's had a cracking game for the Cardiff Devils.
I think Butler was thinking of the party after the game and not the next 9 minutes and 49 seconds. Boy, he was in a different cloud, wasn't he? Weber gets it out of the zone and Lambert chases it. McEwen is back deep. That goes down the ice. McEwen is hit by Lambert. Carson is there to tidy up. He takes a hit from Blaisdell. And Lawless, with 9.5 minutes, gives it to Cooper. The shot, rather not Cooper, but Dumas. Correction, Dumas broke in and took the shot. Lawless set him up, but nothing came of it. Butler was there to knock it down.
Peter Waffey-Smith, number 21 of the Cardiff Devils, there in front, looking to try and pick up some crumbs. He's 32 years old. This is his second spell at Cardiff. He's never won anything with them. He's never been with them when they won anything, a league or anything, but it doesn't look like he's going to get a winner's medal tonight either.
What are you trying to say there? Is this guy a jinx?
No, really, I was going to say that the guy's intense at the moment. He's really trying, and if it rubs off on the others, you know,
something might happen. Shot! Just grazing that far post. Smith goes in and roughs his man up. That's Chuck Taylor. There's a tough assignment. The pass up onto the far wing as Wood comes out of his net, but gives it to Weber. Weber, in turn, gives it away. A return pass to Weber. A lot of sloppy hockey out there as they get in each other's faces in the final 8 minutes and 47 seconds of this hockey game. 7-2 scoreline. The Devils running out of time as they go for a change. Dumas wanted that one, wouldn't happen. Ruggles right in front. Ruggles stick handling one too many times out there. Stolen by Taylor. Out front to Weber. Weber tried to tip it over and eventually cleared away from in front of the net by Dumas. McEwen, who had a very powerful first period, really hasn't been allowed to move as much as he wanted. Big chop by Taylor, and McEwen is hurt on that one. There's going to be a penalty, and rightly so. Taylor's got to go for that. McEwen should stay away from him now. And the Devils will get the power play. Taylor with the big chop, and then he came in to rough him up.
That's down from Peter Wappy-Smith's intense play previous shift. That had wound Taylor up. He chopped McEwen, as you say. But then afterwards, McEwen did what perhaps Shannon Hope and others should have done earlier. He gets 2 minutes for slashing Chuck Taylor, and then he tried to draw McEwen into the penalty. We see it coming through here. Taylor struggling a little bit. Big one-handed swing round on the ankle. He won't have any complaints about it. He then follows up a couple of times and throws a little cuff round the elbow and round the back of the helmet and what have you, trying to suck McEwen into joining him in the penalty box. Would you like to go with me? And McEwen says, no, I'll have the power play, thank you very much.
Brabant got the draw, spun around, and flipped it down the ice. We're coming up to the final 8 minutes of this hockey game. 7-2 is the score. An uphill battle for the Devils, but they have the personnel to do it. They've got a power play now. Can they put it together? McEwen on the wing tries to get away from Brabant, and Brabant wins that battle. Brabant really has been a thorn in their side for the last 50 minutes of this hockey game. He really has been playing good two-way hockey. Hope rattles it in off the boards. Waghorn goes in, takes a swipe. Ruggles, and Brabant again. Ruggles is on him. Brabant wins it yet again. Good stuff along the boards. Brabant is winning the battle of the boards, that's for sure. Now the Devils set it up deep. The box is there from the Nottingham Panthers. 1 minute, 5 seconds remaining on the power play. Stone takes the shot. It bounces right into the crease. And the goaltender, Butler, got a stick on it. Shannon Hope. Stone to the far side. Ruggles out front. Simon Hunt takes a swipe, and that just is one example of the commitment coming from these players. They're leading by 5 goals, but you got guys diving headfirst to the puck and swinging at that puck to get it out of the zone. Dumas bangs it off the boards. Trickett is there to pick it up. Back to Stone, well trapped. Stone puts it upstairs. Back to Stone again. He's got Hope on this side. Stone elects to go along the boards. Dumas back to Stone. Cooper is out front. Can he get the shot away? Ruggles is there. Good save. Another shot. Cleared away at the last moment by Waghorn. Butler comes up big.
What a big save from Stevie Butler. And he's got to be favourite for the Man of the Match award, the Gold Award in this one.
Lawless hits the blue line. Great move by Lawless. The shot off the pads, but what a good little move. Team's back at full strength. Chuck Taylor out on the ice. And the Devils with less than 6 minutes to go on the clock. Hunt picks it up at the blue line. Still with Hunt. Blaisdell takes the shot. That's deflected away from the side of the net. Hunt pops at it, and it ends up in the far corner. Trickett wants it back at the blue line. Good stuff by 80 as he slams on the brakes. Taylor and Trickett perfectly poised back at the blue. Trickett tees it up, takes the shot, puts it upstairs, and Wood hangs on to that and takes the pressure off with 5:29 remaining on the third and final period. 5 goals in it, time running out.
Very much so, 5:29 to go. Mike Blaisdell comes off. He had a little dig at Jason Wood there. Jason Wood caught the puck and it was in the glove, and Blazer tried to knock it back out after this attempt on goal, led by Simon Hunt. Hunty was hauled down, and then it was a shot on net from Blaisdell. It went round the back to 80, back out front, another shot, another save, and Blaisdell had the last word with a little dig on the keeper as well.
Smith, who's got that good shot, rockets that one upstairs. Premack picks it up and gives it to Weber. Carson takes a shot, but again, there isn't a Devil in sight for a rebound if there was a rebound. There's no point playing defensive hockey with 5 minutes to go and a 5-goal deficit. 80 in the corner, all the way back Premack, his shot deflects away. Lawless has it. Lawless, Smith, Premack, and Lawless collide along the boards, but another Panther gets in the shape of Graham Waghorn to break it up. Brabant is way back in the hash marks. Brabant flips it high, and the Panthers are looking very comfortable, looking very composed. Van der Horst and 80 go after each other. Van der Horst really has proved his worth out there. The guy is not fast, he's not flashy, he's not going to score a lot of goals, but he is going to keep a lot of players honest when they come near him. He's physical, he likes to play the body, and that's what the Devils need. Blaisdell gets it up to Tate. Tate takes the shot. Oh, that ricocheted upstairs off of Wood. Just went over the crossbar. Wood jumps on it, and for a moment, there must have been a hard flutter for Jason Wood.
Ashley Tate, the Great Britain under-21 captain, comes through, and the shot ricochets off the shoulder and just loops over the back of the net. You mentioned Van der Horst there, Paul. I think he'll be Mr. Reliable for the Cardiff Devils, and a great addition when Stephen Cooper's in the lineup as well.
Jason Wood gets that and banks it off the plexi. Dumas now, a 2-on-2 situation. Dumas and Cooper. Dumas coming in, taking off the puck nicely. And that's been the story of this game. Really, the Nottingham Panthers have played such good defensive hockey. Lambert takes a shot, goes for the far corner, and just misses. The clearance comes out, and it comes all the way down the ice. Taylor is there to collect. Taylor, McEwen goes after him. Cooper has him go around him, right in front. Lambert was tied up, the net is knocked off its moorings. Non-stop action from the Nottingham Panthers. Despite that 5-goal lead, you'd think perhaps they'd let up and take a breather and say this one is in the history books, but no way. We see a change of personnel for both teams.
Third line out there for the Nottingham Panthers for the first time. Phil Butler and Mark Twaite seeing action for the very first time. 15 Phil Butler, 26 Mark Twaite, and 24 Mike Blaisdell. Now feels happy to put the third line on there.
A couple of days ago, I spoke to Mike Blaisdell about this hockey game and other things, and he said that he would like to get involved with the national team, not as the coach, but as a consultant. And he felt that he wasn't qualified after 10 years of hockey in the National Hockey League and 80 games with the Canadian national team to take over as coach, but he would like to be a consultant. Boy, there's humility for you. Big hit in the corner, a couple of big hits. Smith squares off, well, with Butler. And that's the kind of thing Butler has a tendency to get up to when you got that full face mask, which is a problem for a lot of youngsters. They wear a full face mask and they think they're invincible. And so they have a tendency to mix it up a lot more than they would if they didn't have the full face mask. That comes out to Taylor, 2.5 minutes to go. Big shot upstairs off the plexi. Twaite, who's seeing his first shift right out front. That took a weird bounce off the woodwork. And Jason Wood did not see that. Shot upstairs from McEwen. A chance now for Weber. Weber and Butler on the left side. Weber getting around his man. That comes in beside the goal. Butler is chopped. McEwen picks it up. 2 minutes remaining in the hockey game. 7-2 scoreline. Big fight right along the boards as the officials get back. Shannon Hope is in there and he wants blood. Shannon Hope is seeing red out there. He's saying, come on, look at this, official. Look at this. He's telling Taylor, and Taylor is not really interested. He's probably saying, hey, it's all over, forget about it. Hope goes to the penalty box. And Butler, let's look at this. Butler in his first shift in the game gets 5+ game for spearing. A spearing is when you put the blade of the stick into someone's stomach. Somebody's got to talk to this guy, Butler. He's a youngster, he's got some talent, but he hasn't got anything upstairs. The guy has got 43 minutes in penalties in 11 games. He only gets a couple of shifts a game. What is he doing out there? The game is won.
Big hit
I sympathize with Shannon Hope. Butler has got to take a lesson from somebody like Blaisdell. He's got to sit down and learn about hockey. That's not hockey to me.
I don't think you get an argument from anyone in the building, really, Paul. Phil Butler took a big penalty down at Wembley as well when he got on for a late shift in the finale last season. So it was retaliatory in a little way. There was a bit of argy-bargy, but he caught him with a stick. You saw Shannon Hope showing the wound, as it were, on his abdomen. Shannon Hope took a little bit of retribution himself. Robbie Worthington, number 18 of the Nottingham Panthers, just 16 years old, sits in the box for the penalty, the 5-minute penalty, which obviously will see him out to the end of the game. Robbie Worthington in hospital this time last week with a throat infection. It's good to see him back on the bench at least, but I'm sure Mike Blaisdell will talk to Phil Butler.
Somebody has to talk to him. That's a crazy thing to do, especially on your first shift of the game. What you're trying to do on your shift, your first shift and every shift out there, is impress the coach. I'm sure that won't impress Blaisdell. Francis working his way up. Francis taken out of the play by Premack. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go in the hockey game. The youngsters are on for the Devils. They really have conceded this one. That comes back to the blue line. And Cardiff with a man in the box for 2 minutes, and the Panthers with a man in the box for 5 minutes. And that'll see this one out. As you said, Gary, they'll both be a man short. It'll be 4-on-4 hockey out there. Premack brings it up slowly. 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining on the game. Offside is the call.
The Nottingham Panthers will want to forget that late big goal against Phil Butler. Stuff the tragic dragon, says one of the Panthers posters. Let's go Panthers. And of course, that's the way those fans think it's gone. The Nottingham Panthers will be the only team in Britain this year that can go for the Grand Slam in 1 minute and 10 seconds time.
7-2 the scoreline. Face off in neutral ice territory. Just incredible is the way to describe the reaction here from the Nottingham Panthers supporters. They have been very, very loud from the opening face-off. They're here with colors. A late hit there by Francis on Twait. The officials will get in between them in a hurry. The save was made by Jason Wood. It's all kind of academic now as we run it down to the final 56 seconds of this hockey game.
The Nottingham Panthers bench celebrating. The stick boy there, nicknamed Mumtaz, Rick Brabant, brought to the Nottingham Panthers to bring in and instill the win ethic. And the Panthers fans celebrating because he's done just that.
McEwen hasn't stopped skating since the opening face-off. Gets it up. A long shot by Townsend is gloved down by Butler. Butler at the second attempt forces the face-off. And again, this is silly. Tate roughs it up behind the net. The save was made by Butler, and the Devils should just skate away once the whistle blows. Francis is being told to get off the ice. Horner gets in there quickly and makes the call, but with just 40 seconds to go, these guys are starting to lose it out there. Perhaps Francis should have continued for that. The whistle hadn't gone, but then once it had gone, he should also, okay, I'm out of it. This game is over. Let's just take a break and go for the face-off.
As we watch that replay, they're still going at it out there, and it's a kid in a face mask, as you said, Paul, going after an older guy without the face mask, and this time it's one of the Cardiff Devils youngsters that's guilty of it.
They make the youngsters wear these face masks for obvious reasons, but as I said before, sometimes they go in with a whole lot of bravado saying, you can't touch me, I got a full face mask, and they do silly things that they wouldn't normally do. Remove that face mask, you got a different guy in that helmet. Tate is going off now.
Well, Ashley Tate got stuck in there to help his netminder. Paul Bly coming out for the Nottingham Panthers, meanwhile, to take the last 40 seconds. Stevie Butler's had a cracking game. and referee Graham Horner trying to sort out the late calls on the penalties. Ashley Tate may have drawn a big penalty at the end there, but I think he's had a big game. The Nottingham Panthers bench throughout this have been celebrating. It's been high fives all round. The numbers that really matter, forget the statistics. The numbers are the ones on the giant scoreboard here at the Sheffield Arena that say Panthers lead by 7 goals to 2.
Good move here by player coach Blaisdell to put in Bly. He shouldn't be getting warm-ups. That's totally illegal, but the officials haven't spotted it. They're letting it go because they haven't seen it. The defenseman there, Trickett, is warming up Bly, but a good move. Let Bly get some of the action, some of the glory. They're trying to sort out these penalties. As I said before, Gary, it's all academic. This is a Nottingham Panther victory, a well-deserved Nottingham Panther victory. They've only lost 2 games all season in the Cup and in the league. They are hot right now. They're well coached, they're well disciplined, and they're playing good two-way hockey. You can't knock them. I said at the beginning of the year on the radio that Cardiff could take it all. Oh, I bite my tongue. These guys, after having seen them, I'm talking about the black and yellow team, could take everything in this league. And at Wembley in April.
You say it's academic, Paul. One thing to bear in mind, though, is these 2 teams happen to have a fixture tomorrow night in the league down in Cardiff. So I think a little bit of grievance might spill over into the back-to-back games, but it'll be the Nottingham Panthers that celebrate and have the shortest journey home, both in mileage and mentally as well. 40 seconds to go. They've got a 5-goal cushion. The Nottingham Panthers are going to get the gold winners medal from this one.
Face-off in neutralized territory, a 3-on-3 situation out there. Blaisdell and McEwen have a go at each other. Stone drops it back to McEwen. 30 seconds on the hockey game. Stone with Smith. Stone hits the blue line, comes over. Taylor gets the skate in. Not the cleanest check he'll make in his career. That goes to the far side. We got 18 seconds now. Taylor and Blaisdell on the far side of the ring. Back to Stone. The shot, rebound. McEwen got a piece of that on the backhand. Here comes Blaisdell. Blaisdell comes over the blue line, and this time he doesn't make it. Just a couple of seconds, and there goes the buzzer to end the hockey game. The victory goes to the Nottingham Panthers. The Benson and Hedges Cup is theirs, and they deserve it. 7-2 is the scoreline, and they're still mixing it up down on the ice. But does anybody care with a Nottingham Panther shirt on? They deserve this one. The firecrackers are going off in the background. The fans are on their feet here. The Panthers played an excellent hockey game. A close first period, 1 apiece, but then the Panthers exploded with 4 goals in the second period, a couple more in the third. 7-2 the final score.
A bad-tempered finale to it then, but the Nottingham Panthers will look back on it overall with pride. That 4-goal blitz you mentioned, second period, Paul, turned the tide, and they didn't grab hold of the game by the scruff of the neck. They put it in a headlock, and they buried it down in their end of the ice, and they buried the puck in the back of Jason Wood's net so often. It became a bit of a procession second period.
Gary, it's nice to see that all around us the Cardiff Devils supporters are standing and applauding the Nottingham Panthers. They know that they earned this one.
Nottingham did work hard. They worked hard throughout the season, as you say. Just 2 losses, both of them in the Cup. The second leg of the semi-final, which we broadcast on Sky, and also a game here in the early round of the Benson Hedges Cup against the Sheffield Steelers. Other than them, they've won everything so far, and as I say, they're the only team that can go through for a Grand Slam this year.
Blaisdell started things off on that short-handed goal, and then McEwen leveled it up. After 20 minutes of hockey, it was really very close indeed. It looked like it could have gone either way. Then Blaisdell came back again. Young Simon Hunt, who really has been an explosive player in the semi-finals and here in the final. He made it 3-1 with a power play goal. Brabant started showing his stuff, and then Blaisdell at the end of the second period, 5-1 was the scoreline. It was all over then. An excellent period for the Nottingham Panthers, and they really won the game in that period.
The Nottingham Panthers fans were owed one by the team. The team were very disappointing at Wembley last year, and they said afterwards they apologised to those Nottingham fans, and they said they'd put it right this season. Mike Blaisdell promised they'd put it right starting in the Cup.
We're going to take a break right now, but stay with us because we'll have more action from Sheffield in a moment.
night in great style. It is time now for the presentations, just before we conclude our coverage here from Sheffield this evening. So now let's go to join our Master of Ceremonies, Norman de Mesquita.
So let's move on to the Gold Awards, ladies and gentlemen. The Gold Award winners selected by the respective coaches, or the opposing coaches, so to speak. And the Gold Award winner for the Cardiff Devils, on his debut, number 23, Jamie van der Horst. And the Gold Award winner for the Nottingham Panthers, 3-goal Mike Blaisdell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make the final presentations. First, there's a cheque for £1,500 to the losing team. Unfortunately, I'm sure you've noticed Nicky Chin got hurt during the final period, so he's not here to receive the cheque. So let's call forward the alternate captain, number 7, Doug McEwen, to pick up a cheque for $1,500. £1,500, of course. And now to collect a cheque for £2,500, the captain of the Nottingham Panthers, Rick Brabant.
So a marvellous moment that for Rick Brabant, the whole Nottingham Panthers team, and indeed all their supporters. And the final word from Rocky Saganuk. It's been a great final, and I think we have to say Nottingham worthy winners.
Well, it's not only been a great final, David. It started way back in September, 200 games ago. It all came down to one game. The advertising, the marketing of all this has been great. But the people, Karen Earl Company, did a great job bringing this all together. Benson, Hedges, what a great bunch of people that would come to us. I've had a lot of fun with you, David. Sky Sports has treated me great. I want to be back again someday with you, pal.
Rocky, thanks so much for your company. I've certainly enjoyed being with you over these recent matches. And that is just about it from Sheffield. We hope that you at home have enjoyed our coverage of this tournament. We've certainly enjoyed it. You know, they billed it in the programme as Judgment Day. Certainly the verdict went very much against Cardiff tonight, because Nottingham Panthers are the Benson Hedges Cup winners. From all of us here in Sheffield, we'll say bye-bye. See you again very soon.